Get ready.
Stand aside, land dwellers, and let the Lord show you how a battle is won.
Nah. Look like Leroy de Poisson fixing to make a splash.
You should address me with respect. You play with cards. I command the oceans.
Easy.
The battle starts in
I
5,
have to add
4, 3, 2, 1. All you need to do is capture the mission area. Got it?
Among Asgardians, Loki has cleverness and Thor courage, but only I have vision the future.
Hey, hitting real hard.
Feeling fantastic.
Looks like the mission area is yours to capture now.
This could be treacherous territory.
The mission area is yours.
Keep your eyes peeled for lazy. Directly behind you.
Laissez le bon temps brûler.
Control lock. I am ready to put on a show.
Laissez le bon temps brûler.
I'm Moon Knight. I've located an enemy. How refreshing.
Your team's capture marker has passed the halfway point.
Never fall! Reinvigorated and ready. Judge, jury, executioner! Let the devil out!
You've captured more than half of the mission area. Keep going.
There's always a spark of light in darkness. Everybody needs a hand sometimes. Or a dagger. Thanks.
Alright, that feels better.
The area's almost yours.
Problem solved!
I am ready to put on a show! Let's go! I'm trying to help! My time to shine! You owe me one!
No area. Going to overtime.
back up under their noses.
My time to shine. Here they are. Us against the world.
Let's pop back up under their noses.
My time to shine. Hold still. I'm trying to help.
Problem solved! The moon hawk!
Time to see if your boy Gambit is
Control
feeling.
lost.
Ah, bon. An extra layer of armor.
They've almost got it.
This location is worth observing.
Like lambs to the slaughter.
I've located it.
No winner yet. Going to overtime. It's Spider time!
I used to be a sword master.
I'm opening a portal.
I would knit the dimension. Open your eyes.
We guard the galaxy, sure. But sometimes we take stuff other people are guarding. This is a nice
30
spot.
seconds before you attack. Get ready.
Okay, Jeff, I got a plan, but it's gonna take expert timing and perfect precision. Oh, I'm just messing with you. All you gotta do is swallow everybody whole. Got it?
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All you need to do is capture the mission area. Got it?
No oceans? As if this world wasn't wretched enough already.
This location seems
This is
dangerous.
a nice spot. Someone scratch my back. That was a little messed up there. Thanks.
Looks like the mission area is yours to capture now.
Oh, I'm gonna get some revenge.
They captured the mission area!
Armor patch here. Hey up.
Problem solved!
I am ready to put on a show.
How refreshing.
I'll patch you up. Just say it. There's nothing I can't fix. I'll patch you up. Oh, someone scratch my back.
Their team's capture progress has passed the halfway point.
You're ready to Blast! This is real firepower!
Judge, jury,
Nowhere yet. Going to overtime.
I'll patch you up.
Control seized.
we have succeeded so far.
I'll patch you up.
Feeling fantastic.
Oh, someone scratch my back! Relay deployed! It ain't cheap! Team play! That's me! You're ready for action!
We hunger.
There is only one sorcerer supreme.
Control lost. No winner yet. Going to overtime.
Pentagram Opera.
Control seized.
We guard the galaxy, sure. But sometimes we take stuff other people are guarding.
You've captured more than half of the
ready
mission
to
area.
put on a
Keep
show.
going.
You're welcome.
This is a nice spot.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hold up, team. I'll patch you up.
Never had a chance.
Team player! That's me!
That is much better.
You're ready for
Glory is almost yours.
Survive this! Tactile surface for good.
You're ready for action!
It's spider time! No winner yet. Going to overtime.
Limbo stands with you!
Armor packed here! Pay up!
I'll patch you up.
Team player! That's me!
Judge, jury, executioner!
This is real firepower!
You're welcome.
We guard the galaxy, sure. But sometimes we take stuff other people are guarding.
Seconds before you attack. Get ready.
If we want to solve this crisis, we'll need to put our differences aside.
We're not all that different, you and I. We have always wanted the same thing.
It's good to know our goals are aligned. Namor.
Yes, I was speaking of our goals, of
The
course.
battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All you need to do is capture the mission area. Got it?
This fight is for our destiny. It is why we were bonded together.
I've spotted one of our adversaries.
Someone scratch my back!
You're welcome.
I was in trouble.
Looks like the mission area is yours to capture now.
Be careful.
We're just feeling.
Oh, I'm gonna get some revenge.
Problem solved! Whoa! Ha ha! Ha! Whoa!
You're ready for action.
The mission area is yours.
Things are gonna be different this time. You're welcome. Armor patch here. Pay up.
Feeling fantastic.
Beholds the God of Thunder!
Come, my minion.
I'm back.
You've captured more than half of the mission area. Keep going.
Armor patch here.
Losing control of
Pay
this
up.
location.
You're ready for action.
I've spotted one of our adversaries.
Control lost.
I'll patch you up.
Now, Lily, I shall return you to the depths.
I am ready to put on a show.
You're ready for action.
Back to full.
Yay!
Come, my minion.
I'm
Time
back.
for a tactical retreat.
I'll patch you up.
I was worried.
Relay deployed. It ain't cheap.
We've been discovered.
Their team's capture progress has passed the halfway point.
You're welcome.
Just in time. Limbo stands with you.
What a relief.
A nice deep freeze.
Judge beholds the God of Thunder!
I'll patch you up.
Succumb to the ocean's might. How refreshing.
You're ready for action.
They've almost got it.
That's me.
Control seized.
That one hurt.
Ours. We're in control.
Relay deployed. It ain't cheap. You're welcome.
Feeling fantastic.
The area's almost yours.
There they are.
Just as expected.
I'll patch you up.
Problem solved.
Someone scratch my back. See? I'm sparking help.
Nowhere yet. Going to overtime.
You're welcome.
You had it in you, Richard.
Another epic victory. Big win.
straight. I'm dating Ladyboy, and I don't think I'm gay. I'm attracted to Chini. She looks like a woman. She's very beautiful. She's very feminine. How does it make me gay?
You're gay as fuck, bro. Anyways,
Pick your
LC-san has
hero.
15 years of experience and I have
I'm not
C and
judging.
UL certification.
Reporting live for gay people? Oh god.
I hate men. I'm a misandrist.
What are guys getting so wrong?
Because you're gay.
I'm gay. Yeah. Gay guys are fine. Straight guys right now, huge problem. Why are men so horrible right now?
Men are misogynistic. Men want women dead, and men just want to rape women. It's disgusting, and
Not the hot one.
I hate men. Dudes are just. Oh my god! Look at that!
People are always afraid
30
of talking
seconds before you attack.
Yeah.
Just to
I
get
fucking love it.
Would the world be better off without men?
Duh. Is that even a question?
Have you ever had a good experience with a man?
That's a great question, actually. No.
What's your secret?
Most people's opinions
cloak
about
and
the
dagger.
opposite gender
We
that
are
are
hope
negative
and
come
fear.
from personal unresolved trauma. Every single time.
Top bottom verse, Timothy Chalamet, Jacob Elordi, and Donald Trump.
I'm killing Donald Trump. You know what? I'm gonna get on top of Donald Trump, so I'll get him in a chokehold and shoot him in the fucking throat, and shoot him in the fucking heart, and shoot him in the fucking brain, and then, I guess like Jacob Elordi could fuck me. I don't know.
Yeah, I saw it.
What was the other one?
Just so sad. She can vote? I told y'all. I tried to warn everybody about this situation. I tried to tell you.
Who do you think gets better neck, me or Charlie Kirk?
Oh, you, 100%. Duh.
Is Charlie Kirk the throat?
I mean, like, ultimately, because that's how he died, so, like, low key.
I love how there's like just 3 random, just like shaking their ass behind the same guy from earlier went viral for this.
Beautiful trans women out here. Tell us about your transition. How it went.
Why are you asking me the question?
We're interviewing like trans women and stuff like that.
I'm not a trans woman. I'm a.
We're fully supportive. Fully supportive. Do you want to talk about?
I love how she stops herself. Wait a minute. Oh, I can't say that I'm a real woman.
For transitioning or anything like that, or like what people
I
can.
never transitioned because I was born a woman.
No, of course you're a woman. Of course.
What is
Any
your
other?
opinion on trans women?
I support them and I love them. Like that's why we're interviewing them. We're showcasing them. And
Well, you haven't interviewed me yet because I'm not a trans woman.
Is there another definition that people like to use, or I don't mean to be?
I was born a woman. I was born with female genitals.
Okay.
So
'Cause I don't.
you thought I was a man when I was born. You thought I was born with male genitals.
You thought I was a man. They did a study, and the study said something like over 70% of people hide what they really believe about this gender identity stuff. The reason why there's so much, quote, trans acceptance and a lot of this stuff, like non-binary acceptance, is because people don't want to get fired from their job because there's a particularly rabid, aggressive, small group of people that are enforcing this non-reality on everybody else. Everybody knows that if you get a tattoo all over your body and you make your skin black, you do not become an African American. You are not a black person. You cannot get surgery and become a woman. If you're born a man, you will always be a man. Now, people can respect and, treat you with a degree of compassion, but a lot of times people are doing it because they're polite, not because they agree with you. They're placating. And I think this is like the overwhelming majority of people know that you can't change your gender.
I thought you were. No, I think that
what did you think?
trans women are real women.
They aren't.
Ain't nobody stealing Gambit's chance to win.
The area's almost yours.
Scott Wiener, okay, showed up to the trans march for the first time and we kicked his ass out. It's sad because he's written some good legislation for queers. Things like, for example, lower penalties for sexual relations with underage kids. Yeah, he's done a lot of really great things for queers. He's ultimately a genocidal supporting center-right shill. Trigger warning, broken man walking away defeated.
Scott, I think your legislation on trans issues and your legislation specifically protecting peers on a sex offender registry is fantastic.
Why would you ever have to protect somebody from going on a sex offender registry? Why would you ever need to do that?
I really applaud you for that, and I think you deserve to be here for that, but I think you're
Gambit, in the nicest way possible, your stream is kind of laggy. Like if you just wanted to fix that later on.
You've been wonderful! You've been wonderful for trans people! And you've been terrible! You've been terrible!
Look at him, bro. Like, this is the worst week of his life. Oh my god.
How could you do this to San Francisco?
Look at him. They're just going ham. They hate him. They hate him.
Good legislation on trans rights! How could you betray peers? How could you oppress people?
Oh my god. Scott Wiener changed his stance on Gaza. Causes Israel's action genocide after a viral moment.
State Senator Scott Wiener playing damage control. He says he does believe the conflict in Gaza is genocide. The statement comes days after a forum featuring Wiener. After that question, Wiener sat silent, refusing to answer.
For those of you who saw the debate clip from last week, I want to clarify that I do believe Israel has committed genocide in Gaza.
Wiener claims he is Jewish, and the word genocide can be sensitive given its connection to the Holocaust.
And now they are going to eat him alive.
Don't you worry, mes amis. Gambit got more than one ace up his sleeve.
Seconds before you attack. Get ready.
Spies and thieves. We got a lot in common, no?
Not really. Retrieving classified intel is not the same as pulling jewel heists.
Stealing is stealing, Cher. No matter how you try to justify it.
I suppose you're right. So how about we work together to steal a win?
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey is almost here, and I can already tell it's going to set off 1 billion atom bombs when it drops when it comes to the online discourse surrounding movies. Like Supergirl, which I'll get into later on, the problem is firmly being laid not on Hollywood, but instead YouTubers. The critical drinker Nerdrocket, if anyone really speaks out against these mega entertainment media products, it's not the movie's fault, it's our fault. At least that's how the media is spinning it. As Wired here says, The Odyssey is sparking right backlash. Oh, is that what we're calling it? Coincidentally, these sorts of articles started appearing when the critical drinker spoke about the movie as well. Drinker actually dropped a video recently, as seen here, where he spoke about The Odyssey and the problems that people have with the movie's entire concept. Of course, this did not go over whatsoever with a lot of people on Twitter or even the media. Because to speak out against The Odyssey or really anything Hollywood's pushing these days is akin to sacrilege for them. But again, like this user here who retweeted someone telling the drinker that all animals focusing on his page being in The Odyssey. And therefore, this means that all backlash is unwarranted. Cool. I like how we can just sweep all this neatly and tidy like into a single pile as if it's nothing apparently. Here's another user saying The Odyssey might have issues, but none of it will have to do with Elliot Page. Therefore, the drinker is now wrong. Thank you, random Twitter user with a rainbow in your username. Very cool. Or how about this post attacking drinker saying chuds like him are going to milk The Odyssey with bait while the movie does well in theaters. So now we're calling anyone who don't like chuds. Is that how this now works? Interesting. Look, nobody is denying that The Odyssey is going to do well in theaters. It's a Christopher Nolan movie with a star-studded AAA cast. The likelihood it doesn't do well at the box office was never actually the issue here. I've even said in previous videos about this movie that it would still make this kind of money because it is Christopher Nolan. I get that. That's not the point. Then again, money made by a movie doesn't exactly equal to that movie
ready to put on a show.
Ant-Man movies made hundreds of millions of dollars. It doesn't mean they're exactly amazing pieces of cinema. Somehow there's multiple Jumanji movies starring The Rock and Kevin Hart. It doesn't mean they're great movies, but it doesn't even matter. Not really. They still make hundreds of millions of dollars. Quality was never really the issue here, because clearly when it comes to movies, all it takes is insert this actor here and money machine go boom pretty much. The problem has always been about authenticity, but the Odyssey is a mythology. It's not real. How beautifully specific something like that can be when it suddenly doesn't apply to your way of thinking. The reason why users are attacking Drinker, though, is because people like to speak for the common man. Well, these types, especially the websites, do not. They know that. Originally, the websites were at least supposed to be the great equalizers, meant to critique the institutions that make things in order to ensure said things that do get made stay on the right path in line with what those audiences want. Unfortunately, those websites have now become indistinguishable from the very Hollywood that they were made to critique. They are nothing more than mouthpieces, just meant to parrot and protect the monolith instead of actually keeping it honest. This is why your YouTubers exist, because someone has to be the vanguard that stands between the stupidity, and for me, Drinker especially is that vanguard when it comes to something like pop culture. He's a big reason why I even have a YouTube channel in the first place. He's definitely influenced how I made my content since day one. So seeing these types attack him because as Wired said here in their word salad that's on the screen, Lupita Nyong'o is getting unceremoniously bashed with criticism from the evil YouTubers and content creators on Twitter because something the Odyssey should represent everyone including the character. But like Drinker said in his video, all those types are hating on, he brings up the fact that conveniently this level of backpedaling and protection only happens when stories that originated from white European countries are suddenly transformed into these modern-day slot machines instead. We never see stories from Africa, or really any other part of the world, getting the modern audience diversity quota chain splashed all over the place. Only ever the European ones fire. Like, for example, when it came to British royalty, all I have to do is flash this photo here on screen with various versions of Anne Boleyn's story that has been told already. You can immediately tell which one of these depictions is on my Netflix. Gee, I wonder which one it is. Oh right, it's this Anne Boleyn here, where it's an actress who looks about as much like Anne Boleyn that I look like Lupita Nyong'o myself. You see, this sort of nonsense is everywhere. And again, it's only ever in one direction. We know it. For example, as seen here, you have Dinesh Patel, who's an Indian actor. He's also playing the right-hand man to Matt Damon's Odysseus in the movie because that makes sense. No, in fact, there's absolutely been people named Dinesh Patel guys. Come on, what are you doing? You're being problematic? What, you wanted proper, authentic portrayals in a movie written by white people? What, are you crazy? You sound like Elon Musk. And we have to not like Elon because, well, that's what the media tells us to do because, well, we don't know why exactly. But we need to be out there because that's what the media wants us to be. We both know if Hollywood took an Indian story in mythology and made it into a big movie, that cast would 100% be Indian actors only. The same if Hollywood made a story about African mythology. They would assemble every prominent black actor like they were the Black Avengers to star in that movie if it got made to. But the Odyssey is Greek, and Greece is in the Mediterranean, so we can bend the rules a bit because white culture doesn't exist anyways, right guys? And if you disagree, we're gonna throw you in the gulag until you do agree again. Why is Lupita playing Helen Troy? That's like casting Matt Damon as Martin Luther King. It's just stupid to see. History and geographical location should matter when it comes to who plays who, because if they don't, then nothing matters. All then just nonsense. The Odyssey is a movie, feels like it's something that would be fine if it was a high school play with a bunch of theater kids that have to go with a passing grade with this kind of casting. But when you have hundreds of millions of dollars behind you and literally anyone you can get for the movie, there's just no excuse. This movie is about as Greek as I am a woman, which is what not at all. Last time I checked, I don't have the facilities to be a woman, so it checks out. But maybe I'm just being a grifter. All I can say, like after all, how dare I want authenticity and respect in the year of our Lord 2026. At the very least, they could have hired white-skinned actors to play the characters. Yeah, we know Brad Pitt and Troy isn't Greek, but he looks more Greek than Dinesh Patel of all people at least. There was a small bit of effort there being done to at least somewhat be realistic with Troy, I guess. But then there's Elliot Page. Oh boy. So Drinker probably got flack a lot because he put Elliot in his thunder. But I mean, come on, man. Elliot is apparently playing a soldier named Senna, which isn't even in the Odyssey, so it's an original character. Great! As if the Odyssey needed more characters than it already has. Although, honestly, if Elliot Page did play Achilles, that at least would have been hilarious. I might have unironically seen the movie in theaters if Elliot did end up playing that role, because I would just be laughing so hard. I would have to be escorted out of the building. But I think trying to label anyone who criticizes something as lumping them into another category is very short-sighted in my opinion. It is not racist nor problematic to look at the Odyssey and go, hey, you know what? Something stinks here. It's the same way if a Japanese story was told, I would not want any white people in it either, because I think it's very important to respect the cultures of everyone and ensure there is true representation for them. So it is wild to me that because someone like a Drinker or the thousands of viewers out here, or even me, are just saying, hey, can we get some respect for the Greek people out here? But instead, that's just being seen as problematic, and that tells you a lot, that Hollywood and the people in charge, they don't care about mutual respect. It's in fact something that they look down on, which I think
You'll need a top-notch team to win this one.
New York grocery stores are scared the mayor is going to put them out of business. Listen.
Prices to be able to offer food at lower prices. So I guess why not work with local stores here in the area instead of potentially pushing them out of business?
Yeah, why not?
So this is not the entire answer to our City Hall's approach to tackling food insecurity. It is one part of it.
Okay.
What I will say is that for a long time, City Hall has relied exclusively on subsidies and tax breaks. There's a program called City Fresh that I've made my criticisms clear of that spent nearly the same amount of money that we're talking about spending on creating this supermarket, and yet New Yorkers have seen a rise in grocery prices across the board.
Wait a second. When you give a struggling grocery store in New York a tax break, you haven't spent money, you haven't lost money, you've just stolen less. And now these businesses are terrified. New York bodega owners came to City Hall last week for a roundtable discussion at the invitation of the Deputy Mayor for Economic Justice, only to get barraged with intrusive questions about their businesses. The government's not here to help, but it gets worse. Ahead of the meeting last week, the Department of Economic Justice czar asked what items are sold the most at your stores and where is your profit margin the greatest. Wow. They wanted us to share proprietary information with them, but they don't want to answer our questions, and that's why there is distrust. Yeah, the government wants to know how to make money in the grocery business, and then they're going to use the money they make to put every single store out. Speaking of which, the first grocery store is being set up in an area where Target already couldn't operate.
The city says has long been plagued by affordability issues where approximately 38% of households receive SNAP benefits.
The area also seeing grocery stores close like the East Harlem Target in 2023 and the East 125th Street Pathmark closing in 2015.
The concept already winning over locals.
I mean, that's actually great because most of these supermarkets around here, they don't supply good food.
This is actually a way more cooler than I think people are actually treating it.
But nobody's asking why there was a Target here and a whole bunch of other stores here that all shut down recently. Why is that? Why did those stores close? And why is the city going to spend $30 million not occupying a space built by a former grocery store that used to exist? That would be way cheaper. It would make way more sense. Well, in case you forgot, the Target closed because of theft and criminal behavior that put employees at risk. Think about that for a second. That's why the area where the free grocery store is going in doesn't have a grocery store.
The initiative, the city aims to open up one full-service grocery store in every borough where strict pricing, affordability, and labor requirements will be in place. The United Bodegas of America among the critics saying the concept is more of a gimmick than a solution to the current climate, which they say will hurt small business.
You can't serve 8 million people with 5 locations. You can serve 8 million people if you work out a deal with the existing businesses.
With the first site now selected for this 8 million people live in New York, and you're going to have 5 stores that are supposed to feed everybody. How are people even going to get to those stores if they don't live near one of them? How are they going to get there when the failing New York City public transit system lets them down and won't bring them because people rob that every single day? And what did he just mention as the solution? Work with the existing businesses. Help them compete. But no, competition might mean somebody earns a profit. If somebody earns a profit in socialism, that's wrong. Can't have that. Shut these businesses down. Business owners at this meeting, which happened last week, gripe that city officials are now only seeking their input after sparking alarms in April with the plans to build this $30 million mega mart down the street from a Target that closed that they could have just reopened. The city says its socialist-inspired vision for at least one supermarket in each borough will not directly compete with existing stores here. How is that possible? Of course it's going to compete with existing stores nearby. Just because certain things aren't sold in the grocery store that might be sold at a bodega, like perhaps a lottery ticket, doesn't mean there is not competition. People are going to be flooding these free grocery stores because the prices are going to be lower, and they're going to be made lower with tax dollars from the people running the bodegas. This is terrible. Mamdani's plan to subsidize the grocery stores with taxpayer funds so they can offer rock bottom prices threatens grocers who operate on a 2 to 3% profit margin. These guys are not making a ton of money in the grocery business. They're making 2 to 3%. If you erase that, they have no choice but to shut down. The only way they win is on volume, and if their customers are redistributed to the socialist grocery store, the volume is going to be redistributed, and they're going to have to close. And as you're about to see, helping small businesses is the last thing they want to do.
But there's only going to be one of these, according to Mamdani's plan, one of these in every borough. Why would one grocery store in each borough put bodegas out of business?
Cancer starts with a small cell in your body. And if you don't extract it, it spreads. You start with one idea like this, a foolish idea, it may spread. And we don't want it to get to that. If he decides that one store works, maybe 2 stores would work, maybe 100 stores will work. And if you let him spread his ignorance, because this is being ignorant, really, then we have a huge problem.
Why is it ignorant?
It's ignorant because
it's never worked. Find me an example where it's worked. Find me a city-run grocery store that's succeeded anywhere. Find me a socialist economic model anywhere in the world that has brought wealth to the people who pay into that model. Not gonna happen. Also, these 5 stores, there's going to be 5 stores for 8 million people. Not all 8 million people are going to be able to get to those 5 stores, but all 8 million people living in New York City are going to have to pay more money for those stores to exist. The whole thing is a loss for everybody except the communists running stores.
Bodega owners are immigrants.
It's ignorant.
It's ignorant because most bodega owners are immigrants. They come from very poor countries, and they come here to try to make a living and do the right thing by the city. A bodega is not just where you sell food. They're also community centers. So if you're able to infiltrate government into the private sector, you're basically ruining the dreams and the spirits of all these small business people who have risked everything they have, borrowed everything they could borrow to open their small business. How are you going to take my tax dollars and use it to compete against the small business people that are trying to make a living and aren't paying taxes?
Because you know what? As a business owner, according to the communists, you earning an income is wrong. That means you're exploiting something. So we're going to take that away from us, and we're going to use it. and give it back to the people you're stealing from. Never mind the fact that your bodega exists and puts up with the high crime, which Target doesn't want to put up with after Target closes, is the only thing keeping that neighborhood there. They should be thanking these bodegas. When that Target shut down in East Harlem, it became a food desert. But you know what? A lot of these bodegas stayed open. A lot of them had more business. A lot of them did what they could to stock their shelves with more and more stuff. Why is the government not rewarding them for staying open? Because it doesn't want them to stay open. It wants them gone. And that's what's going to happen once these food stores open up.
It doesn't make sense.
In essence, you're saying that this plan will hurt the very people he says he's trying to help.
Like communism.
It doesn't make sense because not only will it hurt the people he claims he's trying to help, he's going to drive a lot of these businesses out of business. Or he's going to scare people. It's like people are scared of ICE. It's like people are scared of people like Mamdani that will come in and start opening up businesses and giving food away and competing with those that have invested their money into their small business.
How much of this is going to help your local small business? Freezing the rent on apartments, that's going to destroy small businesses. Why? The apartments are located here. On the ground floor, there's a store. Well, the rent's frozen for the apartments, but not for the store. So when the landlord has to pay his increased taxes, he's going to come to the little grocery store and say, hey, your rent's got to go up because I got to pay my taxes. Then the grocery store has to raise its prices, and all the people in the apartments upstairs get to pay more. And the other stuff on this list isn't going to help. $30 an hour minimum wage. Yeah, you want to have a grocery store run by robots? That's how you'll get it.
Listen, New York it's the most diverse city in the world. This is where the melting pot happens. And it's come together with people that have migrated here to make a living, to be able to support their families back home, to be able to better the quality of their life. They didn't come to a socialist city or a socialist country or a country that's going to take from them and not give them. You know, listen, what we need here is to make sure that every New Yorker knows and understands. Don't make the mistakes we made almost 12 years ago when we voted another socialist in de Blasio into City Hall.
Well, it happened. Nobody listened to the warning that if someone says they're a communist and they said they believe in city-run grocery stores and frozen rent, that they're going to come into office and do it. All these things are happening right now. Yet everybody in New York thinks it's going to work. You've got people clapping for the frozen rent, not understanding that the rent at the grocery store is not frozen. And if the landlord wants to stop going bankrupt, your groceries are about to cost more. But you know what? That's going to be great news for the city-run grocery store. Oh yeah, those are going to be even more popular once grocery prices have to go up even more. Yep. Why aren't we trying to bring in new grocery stores? Why aren't we helping businesses like this bodega right here? Look, they have shelf space. They have refrigerators. You could stock this place full of all kinds of stuff if you wanted to. But no, the last thing the communist government is going to do is tell these businesses that they can make more money. That's the last thing they're going to do because making money's wrong. Here's why grocers are worried. It says that they first need to know how the city plans to avoid displacing existing businesses. See, that's what they're worried about. They're worried this thing is going to open and they're not going to have any customers. At last week's meeting, Bodega got rattled because the city asked the invitees not to share details from the meeting with the NYC Groceries Interagency Task Force. That's weird. So they're trying to have these meetings and keep them secret and ask questions like, what do you sell that makes the most money? But over the last week, we've seen the rent freeze kick off in the grocery stores. That's what's going to happen next. And to understand what's going to happen over here, you got to look at what's already happening because rents were frozen. Watch this.
Big Apple's real estate market taking another hit. Google co-founder and billionaire Sergey Brin reportedly dumped his stake in a New York City investment fund for pennies on the dollar. Landlords are suffering from rent controls and explosive costs under Zohran Mamdani's administration.
Yeah.
Brin, well, he just wanted to get out before it was too late. All right, Charlie, I want to
get out before it's too late.
The numbers suggest he took a $75 million loss on this. I wish we were all in that position. Yeah, I don't know. 75 billion? 75 billion, 100 billion.
Scheme of things, that might not be that much.
But no, man,
it cost him more.
The psychological pain of losses.
Taxes that he's gonna have to pay.
So this Google co-founder dumped his New York City real estate investments. Why did he do that? Why would he lose $700 million? Because he thought he was going to lose more if he didn't sell today for whatever he could get. There's no reason to invest in New York City real estate. And once the free grocery stores come out, the exact same thing is going to happen. There's going to be no reason to start a business that competes directly with the government and loses every single time, while the government's going to tax the owners of that company for being millionaires or for earning a profit, or is going to fine them out of existence just for existing.
The situation went viral on the train. This is the censored version, absolutely crazy. Is this the thing about her shitting on the train? Let me see if I can find this.
You'll need
Yes,
a
it is.
top-notch team to win
As
this
America
one.
celebrated its 250th birthday, white nationalists from the group known as Patriot Front marched down the streets of Washington, D.C. According to the Southern Poverty Law Center, Patriot Front is a hate group. They arrived in Washington by train, surrounding everyday Americans just trying to go about their holiday, including this woman who sits calmly as white nationalists surround her, whose image will likely be in our history and textbooks one day.
Some images really strike a nerve and are instantly iconic. This feels like one of them. A black woman sitting on the DC Metro surrounded by countless masked white nationalists on America's 250th birthday.
Speaking of weirdos, members of the group Patriot Front ride the metro as commuter looks on during the 250th anniversary of U.S. independence. This is, I mean, you know, America. There it is. A bunch of fucking...
So basically, the woman who was revealed, remember, like, they posted that photo? Like, you know, it's like, oh my God, she's so scared. It's been revealed that the black woman that the Democrats put on the pedestal for bravely riding a train with Patriot Front members were engaging in indecent exposure on the train moments before the photo was taken and has a lengthy arrest record.
3, 2, 1.
She's pulling her pants down.
All you need to do is capture the mission area. Got it?
Who does this, guys? Like, this is insane. Can you even make this shit up? It's just so disgusting and weird, man. This one shows the original viral picture better. Yeah, this was the original photo. Democrats always picking winners. It's actually crazy. Like, imagine thinking this is your new Rosa Parks icon, and then video comes out that she's pulling her pants down and trying to shit on the train station 10 minutes before the picture was taken. It's so fucking embarrassing. How do you keep doing this to yourself? Can't make this up? Well, anyway, I think that it's really going to show this is the safest subway car that she's ever been in her life. And she's sitting in her fucking seat like a good girl and not pulling her pants down and shitting on the floor.
This image will likely be in our history and textbooks one day.
That should make a difference.
A little help, please. I got you covered.
Welcome back to the most professional StarCraft 2. The 9-time GSL champion, return of the Red Man, the myth, the Maru. Facing off against the player who kept him from several more of those championships. The ranked one Protoss in the world in the blue. It's here. In a best of 7 Terran versus Protoss semi-finals to the $20,000 Maestros of the game. Before we get started, it'd be incredible if you could smash that like button, maybe even subscribe. Let me kind of the algorithm and give me a little. Yeah, it's them again. $1,870 on this video, on this cast. And I'll cast another one. And I'll probably do it anyways, because I don't know what else I'd do with my life. But thank you for watching. Hopefully, you've had a good day so far. Hopefully, it's about to get just a little bit better. As the first Zealot, hiding in the trees, popped out by the grenade. Maru catches it on the way across, but Hero not to be outdone. Crouching Zealot, Hidden Reaper. Actually, no, really just Crouching Zealot and also Hidden Zealot because of the blocker. There's a Zealot in the trees. Adept is on its way across, and Maru's busy flirting with the Zealot, but Hero's always throwing more shade. As things get started here, one of our last tournaments, if not our last tournament, on the old patch. The 12 workers start, the drama, the excitement, the bunker finishing at the last second. Right. Most of the tournament was hosted on the previous patch, but we decided to play the final days on it as well. And I'm glad we got the opportunity. 1 HP! But the plot armor that Hero was equipped with once again holds strong. The second adept is also following. Really, don't do it. Don't do it. 15 HP. Yeah, but one more hit could make the difference. The extra little distraction. He doesn't get the hit. He draws a little bit of fire in every sense of the word. And, well, the second adept gets away. And superficial damage at best. In fact, Maru lost nothing. Maybe a couple weeks off his life from the stress of facing Hero's early game. Hero just builds a Zealot. He's walling off like it's Zerg versus Protoss. Well, no, because he's actually walling off coherently, but... well, now the Reaper Hellion just kind of strolls right in because of the lack of aforementioned wall. The Adept Shade is chasing. The Hellion in the main lining up some of the probes. One down. Adept takes out the Reaper. Citizens arrest. Hellion, another shot. Stalker comes around, tries to finish it off, and it's not going to be enough. Only one kill.
We get to the vault and set our friends free. Got it.
And, well, the buffet table of units in the early game here. Moving to the unit's lost tab. In Maru, 3 barracks on the way. No third CC yet. That's a lot less likely to happen in this matchup early on, because very simply, you need enough units to deal with the Protoss follow-up. Protoss do not respect anything. They don't respect the spoken word. They don't respect Defender's advantage, and they don't respect you. Unlike me, like and subscribe. But if you don't have a at least a small base of units, you'll get torn apart. And the Widowmine drop is coming in. Blink's still a long way off. Widowmine, no! It's a disaster! Oh, no! Okay, it's a kerfuffle. It could have been so much worse, but it definitely could have been better. 1 HP on that Widowmine, but that's all it takes. It fires it off. 3 probes dead. And, again, it could have been much worse. But the medevac gets away. The more valuable part of this composition. And Maru has a bunker on the low ground. He does not have one in the main. The Adept Shade is scouting ahead. There is no other vision, but a Templar Archives is already on the way behind us. Hero is smoke and mirrors. And, well, he might be able to choke him with some smoke inhalation, but otherwise, this is feigning the aggression. He gets the Adept to the high ground. The Blink, don't do it. Don't do it. He has the high ground. Okay, well, that's, you know, that's fine. I'll take that. Maru shoots his own refinery, which, just making sure the guns work on that siege tank. Getting a little antsy there for him. And, well, behind this, Hero has Storm, Charge, and a 3rd Nexus, and almost nothing else. He has 8 Stalkers in total. Maru is putting together a deadly push. But he has to do some damage. Maybe he doesn't have to kill Hero, but he has to get close. Because Hero... well, I was going to say Hero's going to have the economy, but he actually only has 44 probes. He is very intentionally not building anymore until I started that sentence just to make me look mad. But making sure he has the warpins, making sure he has the gateways on the way. He needs the weapons of mass production to deal with the strength of the different timers. The stim of the combat shield combined with siege tanks behind. Gateway units are not enough. He needs splash damage or overwhelming numbers. So Hero is going to fake it till he makes it. The Warp Prism threatening, but does he believe him? Maru does not. He knows. It's a fake. He absolutely knows. He did not respect that at all. But look at this Terran army. Look at the girth of it. Look at the size of it. And most importantly, look at the supply. 110 to 90. But the Templar have a tendency to change the game. And he lays down the Storm. He rips through the siege tanks, the Stalkers, and the Storm combining. The Sentry hung out to dry in a field, a deluge of Psionic Storm. And just like that, Maru's most important units of this push. Well, I guess the medevacs are probably just as important, but the siege tanks, the thing that helps them actually push forward, are ripped apart. So the Templar themselves will be gunned down as well. Another Storm, not quite clipping the Widowmine, slides around the edge. Medevac's doing what they can, but is what they can good enough? Meanwhile, the supply drags the Widowmine's hand to what's left, the dregs of the bio. And the Medevac's trying to pick it up, he's trying to get to the high ground, there's nowhere to run. And every second he takes, every step he takes, they'll be watching. That's why they're called Stalkers. But there was no high ground vision because that Warp Prism was a fake. He does not have an observer. He just started a robo and 2 forges, so Hero filling in the rest. Maru behind it, taking his 3rd command center. Hero may very well be able to delay it, and maybe more than that. He takes out another medevac. Marauder stuck in the corner. The command center will complete. The SCV definitely not getting hazard pay, though it does deserve it. Tries to drag in Prairie Dog Micro and the Widow Mine to minimize the shot. And Hero just shoves in. The Archon, not so good in tight spaces. The Zealots also struggling. Behind it, Widow Mine drop, terrible damage. I was gonna double up on the terrible damage, but it simply wasn't. It was only 5 kills, which still enough to keep Maru within striking distance economically and within striking distance more literally. But Hero is rallying across the map, warping in at his 3rd and joining up at the front. Hero takes the economic hit and then takes a 4th. Widow Mine will drop again. It is not cloaked. It does not have the Drilling Claws upgrade, so he doesn't need detection for that moment. But another Widow Mine. And Hero, the altar, the sacrifice, and he actually does. He'll take a Stalker and he gets a probe. Buy one, get one free. Pretty good deal there. Stalker costs literally twice as much as the Widow Mine. So anything extra is also nice. And now a very real Warp Prism is on the way. The double forge being chrono boosted. And the Widow Mine's down the center. We'll take out a couple Zealots, but a few more charging into Glorious Battle. But Maru already has Ghosts. Not too surprising considering the propensity towards Storm. But not for the DC, it's such relatively low supply. On the other hand, Hero is shifting towards the Robo-Bay, the Colossi, potentially. Maybe even Disruptors, but Colossi, much more obvious counter. The feedback, 0 on 5. Healed the people murdered by friends. Maru gets the energy wiped out of most of his medevacs, but the health is going to need to be wiped out the rest of the files. Hero just not reacting to the obvious push. He's got 2 Templar and a Prism. And the free MPs gets 1 Storm, but then loses the Prism with a Templar inside. Waiting through the Storm, though. Meanwhile, a single Widow Mine on the high ground. Another dash of probes. But wait, there's more. The Widow Mine's in the natural. There's no cannon there. And 66 probes apiece. But the Blight Stalkers will chase down 1 medevac. And the charge lots will eviscerate the rest on the ground as he chases it down to the top left corner. But the Widow Mine drops will continue. The pitter-patter of explosive missiles.
While you were celebrating and enjoying your country, other people decided they wanted to enjoy it in a different way. And it wasn't pretty. It wasn't, in their mind, the thrills were good. They were loving the thrill of doing it. If these stories are true, if they're true, they got thrills from doing this in the same way you got a thrill from listening to the president, the flyovers, and
no
everything. Chicago. This is what they were doing in Chicago on the 4th of July. According to this report, CBS Chicago and Gemini, a chaotic mass shooting occurred in a Chicago neighborhood during the early hours of July 5th. Watch this from CBS Chicago.
Neighbors tell me this block was filled with hundreds of people last night. It is a cul-de-sac. They tell me police were already here trying to clear the crowds before gunshots ring out.
I wouldn't even say this was a block party. This was a takeover.
Etta Johnson captured this video from Pogristo. It shows what Maple Avenue near Garfield Park looked like on the night of July 4th.
Chaos, obstruction of living.
Johnson says a lot of the people she saw seemed underage. This video captured by another neighbor shows what appears to be teenagers in a crowd. One person holding what appears to be a shotgun with an orange tip. That usually signifies it's a toy or replica, not a real lethal weapon. Neighbors also capturing police trying to clear the street around 1 a.m.
The police were totally outnumbered. They were outnumbered last night.
We have a female shot.
By 1:25 in the morning, a 17-year-old girl was in critical condition after being shot in the chest on Maple Avenue, according to Chicago police. Less than 10 minutes later, they say 6 more people between 17 and 20 years old were also shot on Maple. They were all taken to hospitals in good condition.
Sad. Very sad.
We're told at one point, police began telling people to either leave or get arrested. One neighbor captured this video, showing officers placing someone into custody.
My husband and my neighbors, we moved our cars because they were destroying cars over here.
Amazing. Chi-Town, local residents are calling on city leaders to intervene and provide support to ensure neighborhood safety before the end of the summer. Like this.
And if you didn't have a locked gate, they would come and sit on your porch.
3 separate neighbors told us people on this block are known to promote gatherings like this on social media.
They were here Juneteenth with the same mentality. Normally it's in August. They have some party for someone on the block. The last few years, we have been bombarded with this chaos.
Connie Mitchell has lived on Hammond Boulevard for 30 years. Her doorbell camera capturing people crowded in front of her home.
If this only works, the residents who are pouring their heart and soul into this neighborhood.
She's part of the Garfield Park Advisory Council and says she's been pushing for change in this area for years.
These kids, how can they work all night? You can give them jobs during the day. Where are they going to be at night?
The alderman and the mayor and the commander. We need help. We need serious help.
You people are so crazy. They're lying. Because if they really want to help, they would not be voted for the people that's not going to give them help. They vote in the same people every time. Remember they got rid of that female, black female mayor, I forgot her name. And then they put in this black male. He's worse than the black female they got rid of Lightfoot. As long as they're voting on color or just because they're Democrat, this is what they're going to get. And then they complain. They love complaining. And they know these people in government don't care about them at all. Zero. But they voted in the same people. And then they say they want help. Amazing, huh? This will continue. Because there's no love in this world. The government wants this to be happening. They want you divided. They want you angry. They want you upset. They keep voting them in because the government knows that you're going to keep voting them in. Look what they did in Los Angeles. They had a chance to get rid of Karen Bass, who is the same type of so-called mayor, and they voted her back in. They voted to keep her in. That's why you're complaining is just a thrill. You're using Karen Bass and President Johnson, and they're using you. You're getting what you're doing. They voted in Karen Bass. They voted had a chance to get rid of her, and they kept her.
I am ready to put on a show.
An arrest was made in LA too, according to the ABC7. Police in Newport Beach say they arrested 402 people during the 4th of July celebration. Watching from NBC News, NBC LA.
Yeah, Kathy, and about half of those 400 arrests that were made last night were people who were refusing to leave this area after officers declared an unlawful assembly. Take a listen. Video captured the chaos that unfolded on the Balboa Peninsula in Newport Beach during the 4th of July. You can see hundreds of people gathering inside the pavilion's parking lot, setting off fireworks, throwing watermelons and water bottles at the crowd and the police officers. One officer was struck with a mortar. He was treated and is expected to be okay. Multiple fights also broke out between the crowds of people and the police, and many people were also standing in the roadways blocking traffic, forcing police to close down several streets. City officials say social media posts drew large crowds of juveniles and young adults paramedics to Newport Beach late last night, and they engaged in dangerous and unlawful behavior. Police were seen in riot gear ordering people to leave after declaring an unlawful assembly. About 350 Newport Beach police officers, as well as 17 nearby law enforcement agencies, responded last night. The Newport Beach Fire Department responded to about 100 emergency incidents yesterday, including 10 fires, and they transported 44 people to local hospitals, including 6 trauma patients.
It was insane, mass quantities of kids of all ages. We don't know if they were teenagers, we couldn't tell if they were high schoolers. There was a lot of underage kids, a lot.
Like I said, they were low-level explosives, and they should be up in the air, but it was pretty chaotic, insane.
No match for the Sorcerer Supreme. And Newport Beach used to be beautiful. White people town, amazing. And just think about it, these are human beings. Newport Beach, can you imagine? It's a nice little conservative area. But State told them to go down there and screw that up too. Down there in Orange County, California. Isn't that amazing? Hell is everywhere. And if you think that's bad, and it is, and no one's going to be surprised that it even happened in Compton, California. Law enforcement are investigating 2 separate shootings in Compton. NBCLA is reporting this.
LA County Sheriff's deputies in Compton are looking for the person who shot someone in a neighborhood last night. This was a fatality as well. This was a scene on Grandview Avenue just after midnight. You can see a large group outside with first responders amidst a 4th of July gathering. Still no word on the description of the shooting. After an hour, or we should say an hour earlier, deputies were called to a shooting at a large party in Compton. The agency says 2 people were shot on West Laurel Street at around 11:30. This is near a Metro Transit station. Authorities say a woman died at the scene. A man was taken to the hospital as well, where he died. No word on a shooter for this investigation. Right now, police do not think that these 2 shootings are connected.
Tell me this is not hell on earth inside a human being. You're afraid to go to hell, you're already in hell. Anyone who has anger, slash resentment, emotional, are living in hell. You got to go through hell to enter into heaven within. These are human beings. The world is a jungle.
The mystic arts won't fail me again.
And it's dangerous. And it's getting worse. You got to be crazy to go to Compton anyway for a party on the 4th of July. We're looking for one other good example of the world gone crazy. Talking about the celebration of, and happy White History Month, by the way. July is White History Month. I want to hear your white history hero. While you were out or at home watching the fireworks, especially this beautiful display that was put on by the Great White Hope, Donald Trump. Washington, D.C. Other people were celebrated by, according to the report, shooting one another and destroying. Amazing, huh? All for the thrill of it. This is a spiritual battle. A warfare between good and evil. Live now from Fox says that at least 8 people were shot, including 4 children on July 4th. White men are dead.
It was all peaceful. There were hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people peacefully celebrating America's 250th birthday. And so what happened last night, about 10:30 last night, in Coney Island, there was a barbecue that was going on in this courtyard of this apartment building, apartment complex area. And then just a mass gunman, according to NYPD. Oh, keep in mind, we were kind of on the tail end of a big heat wave yesterday, going in last night. This man is dressed all in black. She said that the gunman had a face mask on and just goes into this barbecue and just randomly starts shooting at people. There were 4 adults that were hit. One of the adults, a woman, a 21-year-old woman. She's in very critical condition. There were 4 children who were hit. One was 6, one was 7, one was 12, one was 14 years old. That suspect is still at large. Also
Large groups of majority black teenagers keep facilitating takeovers via TikTok and Snapchat on the basis of there's more of us than there are of them being the locals and the police. Instead of celebrating Happy Independence Day last weekend, they were celebrating Happy Impunity Day, believing that
All right, so the news has officially broken. It wouldn't be a Monday without a big old Xbox news drop. And this time, Xbox dropped a bomb. After weeks of speculation and talk about what the new Xbox CEO, Asha Sharma, was going to do to steer the ship, after rumors of studio cancellations and more, we're starting to finally get a picture of what's going on, officially announced from Xbox themselves. It's me, Jake, today, and we're going to talk about all this. So the significant part of the news is an overall initiative by Microsoft. Microsoft, according to The Verge, is laying off 4,800 employees today. But the significant thing here for our world, our neck of the woods, is that 30% of those are in the Xbox division. This means around 1,600 Xbox employees are being laid off. That's only right now, though. Asha Sharma did put out a big company-wide statement kind of outlining the hardships to come, I guess. I don't know how else you could say that, but The Verge reports that Microsoft is planning to eliminate a total of around 20% of Xbox jobs by the end of the financial year in July 2027. Our thoughts obviously go out to anyone who is caught up in those layoffs, but I think the most interesting thing here is that this is going to be an ongoing thing. So picture working at Xbox knowing that your job could potentially be on the chopping block. I don't know how you work on creative projects or really bust your butt on something knowing that you can just be laid off at any second. And I know this situation is not unique to the video game world. It's a lot of jobs, but it's an ugly truth. Asha Sharma said, and I quote, "I recognize that a year-long restructuring creates additional challenges. Unfortunately, it is not possible to make all the necessary changes in a single day, and I wanted to be direct about the scale. I know this is painful. These changes will directly affect people who have poured their creativity into building Xbox. Today's decisions do not reflect their talent or dedication." Now, speaking of talent and dedication, the other thing here is the studios. Over the last couple of weeks, we've talked about reports and suggestions that studios were also on the chopping block, with games being canceled or studios being completely shut down. Now we finally have the full picture. We know what's going on. Right now, we officially have things about 4 studios. Double Fine, the people behind things like Kiln, more recently, Keeper, the Lighthouse game, but of course, classic legendary games, more recently, Psychonauts, they are going independent. So essentially, Double Fine is being returned to its founders, and apparently they're able to even hold on to their existing IP. The same with Compulsion Games, the people behind We Happy Few, and more recently, South of Midnight. They are also able to go back to being an independent studio. Legendary studio Ninja Theory, who are behind Hellblade, Heavenly Sword, Enslaved, a bunch of stuff, they are being sold. Along with that, Undead Labs, who is currently working on State of Decay 3, are also being sold. Quote, with agreements in place to ensure Senua and State of Decay 3 continue to ship. So if you were looking forward to those games, it seems like we're still getting them at some point, but I still think there is going to be a difficult road ahead. I'm just a layman, right? Like, I don't know how it exactly goes, but it's got to be hard when your entire company, for a few years now, has been situated around having big corporations backing you up. That flexibility, that comfort now is going away. So these studios are going to have to essentially roll up their sleeves, find investors, find funding to really get things going here. The Verge and Bloomberg have also reported that Arcane Studios' fate is still up in the air. As of right now, you know they are working on Blade, but sorting out what to do with the studio is more complicated, specifically cited by Asha Sharma herself. Quote, in France, Arcane's management is beginning required consultation with its works council to review potential strategic options. This is like a process in France. It's a little bit different with how these types of things go. So we don't yet know exactly what's going to go on with the future of this Blade game, which has felt doomed. Everything Blade honestly feels doomed, but we don't know yet what's going on with Blade or Arcane Studios, but something's going on. So at the very least, right, with these 4 studios, Double Fine, Compulsion, Ninja Theory, and Undead Labs, I think this is the best case scenario. It's great that they weren't shut down, their work thrown in an IP vault by this big corporation. I'm glad at the very least that now they can get a new lease on life and seemingly hold on to their own IP and projects. That's big, and I think what this really feels like to me as an outsider is an admission of a failed experiment. You have years of Xbox leadership and Phil Spencer acquiring studios, and it seems like this aspect of acquiring studios, because a lot of these were acquired in a similar time frame, this is them directly divesting from that strategy. It seems to me like a direct acknowledgement that this strategy did not pay off for them, whether it's did the games deliver or not, I don't know. I think it's more of like a Game Pass thing and using these studios to bolster the Game Pass portfolio. Game Pass, of course, probably didn't really grow exactly how they thought it was going to be when they went on this buying spree. So again, this to me comes off as a real, clear, hard break reset of, okay, we are stepping away from that aspect of Xbox. And like I said, while I think it's going to be very hard for these new studios, even if Xbox is supporting them in terms of like how they will exit, they still are essentially going to be out on the streets themselves now. So it's definitely going to be an uphill battle, but I am very happy that these studios will have direct control of their destiny. Well, I think this is probably the best case scenario. I'm glad that these studios are going to be able to survive. I think they narrowly avoided a bigger PR disaster with this. I still think it's important to note the massive amount of restructuring and reorganizing and pain the rest of Xbox is really going through. Asha Sharma's statement is lengthy. It goes into detail, COOs and P&L responsibilities, and the fact that their headcount has grown over the years. Xbox has apparently grown more fragmented, and essentially what they're doing is drilling it back down to its core. In the statement, quote, "We will reduce management layers to no more than 5, and where possible, 3. We will deliver success through a flatter organization that is built around makers." The statement then going on to detail a little bit more of how like their actual accountability will work with people leading projects and leading things, blah, 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 corporate stuff. I just think this is fascinating stuff in terms of just how bad Xbox needs to turn the ship. These drastic changes by Asha Sharma, seemingly so desperately needed, I can't help but just think, like, how the hell did they get to this point? We've talked about this a lot, like, we've navel-gazed at this a lot, but I do really think it seems to me like Xbox had such a good thing going, and then when they fumbled the ball mid-run across the field, it took them a long time to recover from that stumble, and I think what we're seeing here is them still feeling that. Will they ever truly recover and rise from the ashes? I don't know, but it seems like this new Xbox leadership approach is desperate times call for desperate measures. This whole statement, all this news does suggest that Xbox is also very much trying to follow the money and really double down on what works for them. Specifically here, Mojang, the people behind Minecraft, and King behind Candy Crush are reporting directly to Asha Sharma, and I assume that's because they are big revenue drivers, but also they have the most potential for revenue growth. With Minecraft being like a direct tie-in to the head of Xbox CEO, reporting to her, I am curious to see how they're going to double down on Minecraft, because that's exactly what this suggests, right? Could they be going for a Roblox style thing to compete with that whole world, or just really triple down on what makes Minecraft great, which at this point has proven to be probably Xbox's best acquisition. It has made them a ton of money, and of course, Minecraft has gone on to become the biggest thing since sliced bread. But I also wouldn't be so quick to just read it as, woohoo, we're getting more Minecraft stuff. It could be the total opposite. It could be them gutting Minecraft for everything it's worth, trying to squeeze every nickel and dime out of it, add more monetization to those games. Again, this is like a revenue-driven, focused thing. So them doubling down on Minecraft doesn't always mean that like that's a good thing. But that's speculation on my part. We have to wait and see what actually happens. Along with that, like obviously the layoffs we're going to hear about happening to all different studios, all different organizations and subgroups of Xbox. One of the bigger questions is ZeniMax. Jason Schreier of Bloomberg, who gets a lot of these scoops, said, and I quote, "ZeniMax will be impacted significantly by the reorganization, but will not be reduced to only Fallout and the Elder Scrolls, despite rumors over the last few weeks. The publisher will also still work on Wolf, Doom, and Quake." So there you have it with that. There has been suggestion, there has been rumors rumors and conversation past weeks that with Xbox now chasing growth and recovery again, they're going to triple down on some of their biggest franchises and really fast track and greenlight more Halos, more Gears of Wars, more Skyrims, more Fallouts, you name it, right? We don't have any official confirmation of that stuff, but I think the thing you guys need to really pay attention to here is, I think that's a likely thing they're going to do. They're going to double down on what works, what has worked for them historically. But I think the important thing is here is that stuff remains up to par. Like if it actually lives up to the quality standards that players have. Look, if they think that they need to, you know, crank that engine and get a Fallout New Vegas remake coming out and a bunch of shit, right? It better actually be good. It can't be half-assed and rushed for hype, good PR, and quick profit. If they do fast-track a new Fallout or whatever franchise, it has to actually be good. And I think stuff like that remains to be seen. Asha Sharma ended her statement saying, "We will return to growth in 2027. History is full of companies that mistake longevity for inevitability, and we will not be one of them." In my opinion now, the painful cuts and all this stuff are one thing, but they have to actually earn that dough. Right now, I don't care what they're doing with hardware, I don't care what they're doing with like what's on Xbox Game Pass, what isn't. I just want good games, and they still are a steward of a lot of good video game development studios and IP franchises. But again, all that stuff actually has to be good. It has to earn it. With her statement saying, "I want Xbox to be one of the few companies that entertains more than 1 billion people each day." With a lot of people suggesting that her goal is to reach 1 billion players daily in the Xbox world, in the Xbox ecosystem. That is a massively tall order, and you don't do that by corporate jargon and all this weird stuff. You get it by giving people a reason to show up. You give people good games. You give people an ecosystem, a hardware ecosystem, a software ecosystem that they feel like they can invest years of their time. Look, I hate to do this to you, but 2026 is halfway over. I know, stick with me. We've already seen a lot of really cool video games today.
All the difference. Diana. Hugh. Diana. Hugh. Diana. Hugh. Diana. Hugh. Diana. Hugh. Diana.
So we want to round them up. We want to take a quick look back. We've already done a video talking about some of the most disappointing games of 2026. You know, the games that really let us down. But today we just want to have some fun.
How on earth did you make it through boarding school without tying one?
And talk about some of the best games that have released so far. We got 20 examples, so let's get started off with number 20. Mouse PI for Hire is a pretty straightforward, simple game. It knows what it is, and it's an entertaining ride. It is a kind of old school style first-person shooter adventure with the animation style of even older school, 1930s noir style. You got cool expressive characters in this mouse city, and you run and gun your way through levels with really quirky, over-the-top, squishy and bendy cartoon weapons. It's fun to zip through levels and blast cartoony looking guys with an over-the-top cartoon styled Tommy gun. When the game really delivers on that premise, it's great. It likes to slow down and tell a story, which I don't think really hits very hard, but the moment-to-moment gameplay is just a good, fun, simple first-person shooter. Is it as deeply handcrafted as something like Cuphead? No, but for the lower price and the shorter runtime, I think it's worth checking out if you're specifically into these types of things. Kind of a simple, old-school first-person shooter, or just the animation style, because it is a love letter to that, and that alone just makes it unique. That makes it stand out. And that's important in the crowded world of video games right now. Next at number 19, Windrose. This is a pirate-themed co-op survival adventure game. It just released in early access earlier this year, and it took off because it's what people have been looking for. More pirate-style games. I've been saying this on GameRanks for years now. The more pirate games, the better. And this is a perfect example. People flock to this because it's fun, it's creative, it's expressive, it's a solid survival game, and it's just a little bit different than the other pirate flavors out there. Really, the only thing dominating is Sea of Thieves. Ubisoft, of course, spent years and years and time and money to make Skull and Bones, but that didn't really take off, so now at least we have Windrose. It started off with 3 biomes. It's got a lot going on, but there's also still a lot of aspects to it that are, you know, early access. It's not a complete finished game yet. They're building it around player feedback. But for a start, it's a hell of a strong start, and it's worth checking out. Next at number 18, speaking of early access games, look, I know it's not going to be a whole list of early access games, but we're talking about another really strong one. It's Paralives. If you've been looking for a Sims alternative, you know, because EA has been kind of running that franchise into the ground for years now, it's still got its moments, but it's kind of stagnated, well, then Paralives definitely might be your thing. This is completely different from an independent studio, and it really takes the life simulation thing to the next level in terms of just making relationships, building and buying a home, making your character successful, living life. They're really nailing it. And again, it's only in early access. You might look at the art style and think it's a little bit of a turnoff, but it definitely keeps it different and distinct from something like The Sims. It's actually pretty charming. It's not the most demanding game in terms of like performance, but also what it asks of you. It can be a bit of a chill experience, but it's got some fun and creative variations on the life spin mechanics you'd expect. Again, it's early access, so it's not completely done, but it's a really, really promising stuff. We need variety in this genre. We've seen it a little bit here and there, but I do think Paralives is probably like the strongest jump yet. Next at number 17, Monster Hunter Stories 3 Twisted Reflection. Look, I'll be totally honest, GameRanks were notorious here for completely missing these games. We're a small team, we don't get to cover every game, but it seems like Monster Hunter Stories 3 really took the fandom by storm. Capcom continues their generational run here with another toy game. Monster Hunter Stories actually getting an even stronger response than Monster Hunter Wilds. If you're not familiar with these games, they're RPG-style games and stories set in the world of Monster Hunter. So you're getting similar Monster Hunter-style stuff, but a real emphasis on storytelling and good RPG mechanics. Somehow, these games still fly under the radar for some people, but this is a good entry point, trust us. Next at number 16, Mina the Hollower. I'd say that this is probably this year's Hollow Knight Silk Song, and by that I mean a independently developed, kind of old school, challenging style game that was long in the works and long awaited and finally released, and people are loving it. That's Mina the Hollower. It's from Yacht Club Games, the people behind the Shovel Knight series, so they know what they're doing at this point, but different art style, different perspective, different gameplay style here. It's a ton of fun. It's 8-bit style. This is definitely for like the Game Boy Color fans, but you play as Mina, a hollower who can like burrow, kicks a surprisingly good amount of ass. There's a lot of interesting mechanics here, but ultimately it's you on a quest to save a world, and it's an absolute blast. It's an old school love letter style game, but with some creative new mechanics. Next at number 15, Subnautica 2. Another one that is early access, really took the world by storm because people were waiting for a Subnautica sequel for a long ass time. It went through some development issues and some publisher things at the top level, but finally it released, and it's pretty damn good. The mechanics are great. The way it builds on the first game is great. It just feels high quality top to bottom. And that's saying something because, again, it's only released in early access. So it's not completely finished yet, but what you do get to experience here is solid, good Subnautica stuff. It feels like a justified sequel. The depths are scary. The mechanics are compelling. The sense of discovery, the sense of fear, like all that stuff is still there, but it just feels like it's been taken to the next level. Next at number 14, Crisol, Theater of Idols. We were surprised how much we really enjoyed this one. It's just a creative, fun, first-person shooter adventure. One part survival horror, one part Bioshock. It's really a match made in heaven. The vibes in this game are immaculate. If you like walking through creepy, gross, atmospheric, gothic, haunted areas, look no further. The types of enemies they have here, the feel of the weapons, the fact that you have to use your own blood for ammunition, just gives the game a really good, unique survival horror push-pull that we haven't really seen before. It's not like a completely perfect game. It has its flaws, but I think survival horror fans can definitely overlook a lot of that. It's just a solid thing to play through. It's not a full-price game. You can probably get at least 12, 13, 14 hours of it, depending on how you play, and we definitely recommend it. Next at number 13, we have Replaced, the game that isn't just style over substance. I mean, look at it on screen here. An absolutely awesome, gorgeous, Blade Runner cyberpunk-inspired 2D pixel art game that has a lot of detail and some good storytelling chops. You're mostly navigating 2D environments, left to right, but there's a lot to it that is engaging. You're dealing with NPCs, you're solving their problems, but you're also going out in the world, you're on the run, you're fighting bad guys through melee combat that feels a little bit almost like a 2D Arkham style, mixed with some light gunplay. After the intro, it starts a little slow, but stick with it, it picks up, it's really interesting, it's not super long, but this was long in the works as well, and it was definitely worth the wait. There's really nothing else quite like Replaced out there, so that alone helps it earn a spot on this list. Next at number 12, Pokemon Pokopia. Have you ever played like an Animal Crossing or even a Dragon Quest Builders and said, hey, this is great, but it needs Pokemon? Well, that's what this game is. You play as a Ditto that uses its ability to transform into a human. This allows you to interact with the world of Pokemon and the Pokemon themselves in unique ways, in ways that we haven't seen before. You're building out the areas around you and you're attracting more Pokemon, and they help you in your endeavor, giving you more abilities and ways to progress and build. But this just works as a perfect chill out game. It doesn't ask too much of the player, but it's engaging, it's charming, it's nice.
So in case you guys aren't aware of the mayor of New York City, Zohran Mamdani, who I think is an absolute terrorist to our country. This is also one of Hassan Piker's best friends. Yeah, he's currently the mayor of New York, and on July 4th, he just put out a statement 23 hours ago, completely obliterating all the ideals of Americans, essentially saying, fuck all white people, we need more immigrants in our country, and guys, we've all seen how that's been going in the UK, and essentially villainizing anybody who just wants America to be about Americans. And essentially, he says, "Well, actually, we need more Somalians. We need more Ugandan cum warriors down here." And I'll be honest, I don't think America needs to let more illegals in for it to be more America. In fact, quite the opposite. 3 minutes and 44 seconds of Zohran Mamdani absolutely exposing himself. Surprise, surprise, the illegal immigrant that came to America wants more illegal immigrants.
Nearly a decade ago, I too felt what you feel.
I find it very crazy how Mamdani, a Muslim American, is the mayor of New York City, aka, well, we all remember 9/11. Anyways, let's keep going here.
The joy of no longer being just a New Yorker, but an American too. You each hold a special power. The power to determine what America means.
Okay. What is your America? You know what this sounds like? This sounds like some dumb bitch talking about my emotional truth. What does your truth mean to you? What is your America? Here's what I think America is. Hard-working Americans who are here legally busting their ass to make America a better place. Because a great man said, ask not what your country can do for you. Ask yourself what you can do for your country. But the problem is, so many fucking freeloaders come here and want to live off welfare, don't want to fucking pay taxes, live off food stamps. Those are not Americans, those are fucking parasites. And what do you do with parasites? You get them the fuck out.
The powerful have always known their end. America, in their view, is an arena of supremacy, where only a select few are allowed freedom, where not all are created equal. America, if you ask them, becomes less the more people it welcomes. America, they will tell you, belongs only to those with the right accent or the right shade of skin.
You need to stop that vehicle in its tracks.
No. I believe what they say is, in America, we speak English. I believe that's what they say. I've never heard anyone say, "Look, these people with this accent." No, they're saying, "Hey, bro, stop speaking Spanish. Hey, bro, stop speaking in Ebonics. Speaking English in America." This is an English-speaking country, and if you were planning to migrate to another country, same thing with Trash Taste, those LARPers, they're moving to Japan, they should learn Japanese. You want to know why? Because it is the bare minimum to integrate into another country by learning the language they speak. This is not a controversial thing.
The rest of us, they insist, should be grateful for merely being allowed to visit.
Yeah,
Stop them!
you should be. Just like I am merely glad and grateful that I'm allowed to visit Japan. Just like any other person's house I go to, I'm grateful I was invited. I'm grateful I was welcomed. Is that not just common courtesy? When you're going to someone else's house, you be grateful and you treat it with respect. Obviously. We're saying that's a bad thing? Jesus!
How small they are, how weak, how unoriginal. At every moment in our past, those who led to exclusion and isolation have tried to win power and enrich themselves by turning us against one another.
No, we're not trying to exclude anyone of value. Out of curiosity, if these people were coming to our country and making our lives better, we wouldn't complain. What the fuck is Somalia doing for America? What the fuck are Africans doing for America? What the fuck are illegal Mexicans doing for America? And I want to make that very clear. Illegal Mexicans. I actually love Mexicans. They come here when they're legal and they're hardworking. They mow my yard. And it's fucking great. They used to clean my house. I have no issue with anybody who comes here and works for this country.
Isn't sealed yet.
But my problem is, we have these fucking illegals, we have these welfare thefts, where my friends who are working 9 to 5, blue-collar workers are busting their ass every day, can barely survive, and their bills every month will increase by 30% minimum because these fucking illegals are making grocery bills go higher by absorbing and stealing government money and not paying their fucking taxes. I want my fellow Americans' right to be better and not have these people have to bend the knee to people who shouldn't even fucking be here to begin with. You want to call me radical? I call myself realistic.
Division is the oldest trick in politics and the cheapest.
Let's go ahead and pull up this Zoran Mamdani. I want to remind you that Zoran Mamdani can't even bench 135. So, let's talk about all these Somalians that you want in America. In the U.S., the context where this question typically arises, 81% of Somali immigrant households in Minnesota use at least one form of welfare or government assistance. Guys, 81%! And do you know what else that 81% did? They came into our country and they stole billions of American dollars in fraudulent daycare schemes, clearing centers. Yes, I do believe people who come to our country and live strictly off welfare, 10%? No. 20%? That'd be ridiculous. 81%? Get them out. Get them out. If you are coming to America and you are not working for America, if you're not making this place better and not making other people's lives shit, I am a hard-working American. I do the hardest job in the world, streaming. I understand that I'm privileged, and that is why I hire multiple employees for all of my companies. I have supplied real jobs to real people, as well as I have given over $500 million over my community, over more hate issues. I understand my privilege, I understand my position, and I intend to help as many other people as I possibly fucking can, and I am damn proud of it. That's why I'm against the world. These people, you know what they do? They come in here and they raise your grocery bill by 40%.
Time and again, including 250 years ago, those forces of division have been vanquished by the forces of love. As Thomas Paine once wrote, this new world hath been the asylum for the persecuted lovers of civil and religious liberty.
Only one maybe white guy here. Shocking. That's Zoran's America. Yeah, white people are so mad, I know that.
Hither have they fled. And yet today, too many of our leaders do not believe in a vision of this nation as an asylum for the persecuted, but rather as one that persecutes those seeking asylum. As we mark 250 years,
that's crazy, because as I remember, Irina Zarutska, a hard-working white woman,
Pick your hero. Or villain, I'm not judging.
You don't have to be a witch to find the magic in this world, but it does help.
Female hyper users of Instagram are also, they're sadistic, Machiavellian, psychopathic, and narcissistic, and they optimize for short-term mating strategies. So they're promiscuous, and that's a marker for antisocial behavior. So antisocial people, broadly speaking, have more sexual partners.
When I see someone with powers like yours, I think, wow. I mean, how can I compare?
Don't compare. You just spread your light.
2026 has been a year of RPGs, and there's still tons of them to come. I have so many to talk about, I'm not going to waste any time. Hi folks, it's Falcon. Join the 1% Club to get the unhinged stuff every week. Today on Game Ranks, 30 of the best new and upcoming RPGs of 2026. Just as a quick disclaimer before we get going, that means there are going to be things on this list that are both out and will come out later in the year. At number 30 is Crimson Desert. This one came out on March 19th. It was the most anticipated game of the year up until that point, and, well, it's a sprawling epic of maximalist game design. An action game, a settlement builder, a systemic RPG with multiple playable characters, and a very long, very uninspired narrative. I've said this repeatedly, this game is not my cup of tea. If you like it, I'm happy for you because it was a success and they have supported it well after the release, and it would be crazy not to at least mention it on this list. It's a popular game with a certain set of people. It has a lot of dedicated fans. It can be kind of divisive, but that's fine. Not everybody has to like everything. It doesn't all have to be a war. What does have to be a war, apparently, is the YouTube homepage, and it's a war between us and shorts. I pretty much always have to go directly to our channel to watch our videos, and if I'm having trouble, I bet there's other people out there. So enabling notifications can help you keep up with us if that's what you'd like to do. We'd also really appreciate it a lot. It helps us out a lot. So thanks for enabling notifications. Let's get back to the video. At number 29, it's Blood of the Dawnwalker. Like I said, this is not just a list for games that have already come out, nor is it just a list of games that are going to release, but here's one that isn't out yet, and plans on releasing sometime in the next 7 months. Dawnwalker is a project from some former CD Projekt Red developers, and it has the potential to be one of the most interesting RPGs to come out in quite a while. What makes this one unique is its approach to time. It has a hard time limit, but it's not always counting down. Instead, time progresses as you complete quests and milestones. So even though you're not being forced to count the seconds, you need to pick and choose what you do and what you pass over. Kind of a asynchronous time limit. Now, if they haven't come up with that term, they should steal it from me. There's lots of routes to completing the main objective of rescuing your family, but that limit puts an interesting constraint on the usual aimlessness of the open world RPG. This one's coming allegedly September 2nd, so I'm curious to see if it is as innovative as it sounds. And number 28 is Nioh 3. Team Ninja and Koei Tecmo have upped their game with the latest Nioh, which was released back in February. This action RPG in the long-running series could have just been more of the same, but they actually brought some new concepts into this one, on top of the usually stellar gameplay and character building. Taking inspiration from Elden Ring, of course, this game splits up the story into a series of large open zone environments that give you room to explore, but don't overwhelm you with options. It's a welcome change to the series. I mean, for some it was feeling a little bit stale. I kind of like both Nioh 1 and 2, but if you start factoring in other games that are sort of the mold of the Long Fallen Dynasty, I can see why people might be interested. You can be a ninja, though, with Jump Up Now, and I would say this is probably the best and most entertaining Nioh to get into. It's not as challenging as the previous ones, but depending on who you ask, that's a feature, not a bug. I would say highly recommended, easily one of the best RPGs. And number 27 is Fate Keeper. This is an intriguing first-person action RPG from new developers Paraglacial and THQ Nordic. It's coming surprisingly soon, June 2nd, according to the recently released trailer. And while the game is starting off in early access, that doesn't mean it's not a game to watch out for. The trailers we've seen so far promise a huge world that looks pretty amazing considering this is coming from a 13-person developer. The only real downside I can see is there's no real hook or major gimmick, just a quality-looking fantasy first-person RPG. Combat at least reminds me a little Dark Messiah Might and Magic. That's always a good thing, so I'll be watching this one closely. And number 26 is Alcahest, another big and impressive first-person RPG. This one seems to be leaning into the Dark Messiah stuff a lot. Makes the environments highly interactive with intense melee combat, so you're knocking goblins around and smashing through scaffolding, and of course, knocking them off high ledges for your own amusement. Another thing that makes Alcahest stand out is there is no magic. Instead, it's an in-depth alchemy system where you can brew potions, bombs, and oils to get an edge in combat. It's another one definitely worth keeping an eye on, but there's no firm release date, just vague promises somewhere in 2026. And number 25 is the Gothic 1 remake coming on June 5th. The original Gothic, very influential, remains one of the best PC 3D RPGs of the 2000s, but going back to it, not the easiest thing. Getting it running, not super hard or anything, but the controls take some serious brain rewiring to get a handle on. Just doing something as basic as swinging a club is quite unintuitive, so a straight remake could really benefit this one. And from everything we've been seeing, it looks like they might actually capture what made the original Gothic so memorable. Like the original, the remake drops you in a fantasy prison colony where everyone is out for themselves and death is cheap. The unforgiving nature of the original game is what made the classic such a hardcore RPG phenomenon for a certain audience. And that's what we want to see with the remake. Just maybe a little less awkwardness, particularly in controls and maybe some house and things. June 5th isn't far away, though. Could end up being a duck, but I'm pretty hopeful it's going to be a worthy remake of the original. And number 24, Showa American Story, an alternate history 1980s nostalgia trip if you're nostalgic for when Japan actually ruled the United States. This one's an action RPG from Necom Games, and it looks pretty ridiculous. Probably so. Basically, the backstory is that Japan bought out the majority of the United States. The funniest possible way for Japan to take over the United States. And this game doesn't look like it's trying to be subtle or normal in any way. It looks loud, stylish, weird. I mean, the setup is you're a girl who was apparently dead. You wake up from the dead. You have some mysterious powers, and of course you want revenge. Kind of somewhere between Yakuza and Dead Rising, except heavy alternate history bend on that. Anyway, Showa American Story is landing on PlayStation 5 and PC sometime this year. And number 23 is Monster Hunter Stories 3, Twisted Reflection. This is a series of games that have felt like kiddie alternatives to main games, but the third entry is on all major consoles. It feels like it's the moment where the sub-series steps up in a big way, because it's a really good traditional RPG. It launched May 12th, and while it's remained somewhat under the radar, it's an excellent Monster Hunter RPG that a lot of people have played. It's kind of a Pokemon-like. You capture eggs and raise creatures to assist you in battle. The game also looks fantastic for an RPG of this type. The environments are sprawling and fully explorable. If you're interested, there's a free trial with a large chunk of the game available to play. So if it looks interesting, check that out.
My fate isn't sealed yet.
And number 22 is Solasta 2, released on literally the same day as Monster Hunter Stories 3, March 12th. It's an old school CRPG rather than JRPG. It sticks really close to the D&D 5 rule set, but it mixes some things up with a little bit of Baldur's Gate 3 style presentation, combining really old school game mechanics with some solid looking visuals that are modern, and they make a game that currently isn't a threat to the CRPG crown or anything, but it has a lot of potential. It launched into early access, and honestly, it does need more time in the oven. There is a good game here, but for the most part, unless you're really craving one, I would wait till 1.0. The devs have proven themselves capable with the original, though, and I expect the second one to improve. And number 21 is Dragon Quest VII Reimagined. This is a beast of a game that Square Enix, for some reason, can't stop re-releasing. We've done it like 3 times now. But give the other games in the series a chance. It's still undeniably an iconic entry. And I do think Dragon Quest VII Reimagined does a good job with streamlining without messing it up, basically. It speeds the game up to a point where it's actually pretty manageable. Like, it averages about 55 hours, and It's more than just shorter. It's also got a huge coat of polish with some impressive visuals. Dragon Quest fans who have balked at 7's length should check this one out. It's probably the most polished remake we've seen in the whole series. Somebody give that kind of love to Dragon Quest 8. All right, can we get that? And number 20 is Outward 2. The sequel to the unforgiving but uniquely memorable survival RPG hybrid is only a few short weeks away. It's launching July 7th, and it promises to be just as unforgiving as the original game, but hopefully with some improvements to the combat controls and overall polish. The first Outward is one of those games that was an impressively ambitious first step, wasn't quite there. Outward 2 could be the game that the first one needed to be, but if it's more of the same, I'm still on board. It's not like there's anything else quite like Outward out there. At number 19 is Elder Scrolls Sky Oblivion. The Oblivion remake took some the wind out of the sails here. It's a fan project to completely remake the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion in Skyrim, but with the Oblivion remake all but abandoned by Bethesda, it's only brought in a renewed interest in this project, which has had its fair share of minor controversies and drama, like basically any fan-developed project, but it seems like they're finally reaching the light at the end of the tunnel with this one. The mod team committed to launch in 2026, and they seem pretty serious about it. But if that actually happens, who knows? It is a mod after all, and it is just a bunch of dedicated fans contributing their precious time and energy to something, so it's always possible the final day could get pulled back. I hope not, because it does still look like a very promising project that, if nothing else, looks a lot more bright and saturated with color compared to the more washed out singular Oblivion remastered. Although not to say that I don't love the remaster for different reasons. Still, Sky Oblivion, come on.
I want to make the same.
And number 18 is Alabaster Dawn. I'll come out and say it. Crosscode is one of the best action RPGs of all time. No indie qualifiers, although it is an indie game. The game is excellent, and what we've seen of early access, which released the trial version May 7th, I think this could be better than the previous game. It's very much building on what made Crosscode work so well. It's got a really detailed pixel art, intense combat, a lot of shooting, little gems, magic entry. It's kind of Crosscode 2 with the new name. And with the full game a few years out, it's something you need. I mean, it needs more eyes. Even in early access, the potential, it's very much there. They also still have their demo up. I just play this game. It's so good. In fact, if there's one game on this list I will personally recommend, as in not like a GameRank's consensus recommendation, but like if I was only allowed to recommend one game on this list for this year, it would be this game. And number 17 is Crimson Moon, a game we're not really 100% sure on, but it's certainly intriguing. It's a co-op action RPG. It combines aggressive combat with a roguelike structure where everything is different. You don't normally see that many fully 3D action RPGs take the roguelike route, so this one could be interesting. The developer's prior work doesn't generate a lot of excitement or anything, but we've seen previously mediocre devs make some pretty amazing games out of nowhere recently, so anything's possible. No release date yet, but developers seem to be aiming for this one. And number 16, it's Diablo 4 Lord of Hatred. Gotta give a shout out to the latest Diablo 4 expansion. I did the before you buy on this one. For somebody who really likes Diablo 4, I think you'll really like this expansion. It does revitalize the game. I'm not gonna lie to you and tell you that it's the most amazing thing I've ever played. It's not, but nor is it bad. It's kind of, I mean, that's where I am with Diablo 4, and it drives people nuts that I don't have a strong opinion either way on that game. But again, if you like Diablo 4, I think you'll love Lord of Hatred. It's better. Some people are kind of mixed on it, but it is certainly an improvement as far as I'm concerned. It does bring a lot of improvements and changes to the base Diablo 4, so if that sounds like what you want, it delivers. And number 15 is Code Vein 2. For those hoping Code Vein 2 would be a massive improvement over the original, it's not. It's essentially Code Vein again, but with an impressively ugly open world. Out of the two games this year that took inspiration for Elden Ring, Nioh 3 is the superior one, but that doesn't mean Code Vein is junk. It's a game with interesting ideas, the character building is fun, and at times the world is interesting. Not all times, but at times, and I mean visually interesting. It's definitely a B-tier game. It doesn't really excel at anything other than the cracked out character designs, but out of all the RPGs that came this year, it's far from the worst, and it's one of those ones where I just feel like, I don't know why, but I like it. I don't know if I'd call it a perfect 7. I don't think it's a perfect 7. But it's good, it's fun. It's also not Code Violet, which...
But it does help. have made my share of mistakes, but I am fighting
30
every day
seconds
to
before you
make
attack. Get ready.
The battle we are about to face is fraught with danger, Scott. Be ready.
If I survived what Alchemax did to me, I can survive anything.
I have a spell that could remove the trauma you experienced from your mind, you know.
No thanks, Wanda.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All you need to do is capture the mission area. Got it?
Humans are so fond of their golden idols, but all of them shall bow to steel. Be more careful next time.
Looks like the mission area is yours to capture now.
Damage sustained. Need assistance.
Reborn from the... Goodbye. For now.
We captured the mission area! Their team's capture progress has passed the halfway point.
Reborn from the
Did
chaos.
someone call Doctor Strange?
Endless battle means ever-increasing hell. An opportunity comes out.
A man barely survives.
That's better.
They've almost got it!
Rest now, little one.
Control C!
Land for me. Good. You are under my spell. You're not going anywhere.
I feel vulnerable. We are undefeatable!
My fate now, a disappearing.
You've captured more than half of the mission area. Keep going.
Feeling stronger already.
Armed and dangerous!
My fate is
Control
sealed
lost!
A shortcut through space! Don't mess with the amazing Spider-Man!
Nowhere yet. Going to overtime!
Cyclops on, Cyclops on, Cyclops on.
Control lost. No winner yet. Going to overtime.
I won't make the same mistakes again. I may be powered by chaos, but I'm trying to bring a bit of order to the universe.
30 seconds before you attack. Get ready.
I know every creature who dwells in the sea, but never have I seen any quite like you. Indeed, you are one of a kind, but that doesn't mean you have to be alone.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All you need to do is capture the mission area. Got it?
Must be protected. Our enemies are near.
You've captured more than half of the mission area. Keep going.
Feeling stronger already.
Ancient secrets revealed. Come on, Sonic. The area's almost yours.
Nobody can stand up against a full-strength Scarlet Witch.
No winner yet. Going to overtime. You're not going anywhere.
I've made my share of mistakes, but I am fighting every day to make amends.
30 seconds before you attack. Get ready.
Few mortals are so adept at wielding chaos magic. You have caught my attention, witch.
Should I take that as a compliment or a warning?
I wish you no ill, but all souls eventually belong to Hela. I will be counting the days.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All you need to do is capture the mission area. Got it?
It's not easy holding the Dark Force in check.
Under my
Our enemies are near. We must find that sniper.
I am ready to put on a show! Your fate to see it. Double KO! That's 3! Wow, 4 in a row! Looks like the mission area is yours to capture now. The mission area is yours!
Advantage gained in the material plane.
You are nothing! Feeling stronger already. Embrace the light! Plasma? Now, a disappearing.
Our enemies are near.
A sniper. We are undefeatable! You captured more than half of the mission area. Keep going.
I won't make... Be right there.
Co-op time!
The legions of hell are beyond counting. One little
The
sniper.
area is almost yours!
An opportunity for combat.
Disappear! Take everything! No winner yet. Going to overtime. Control lost.
Goodbye for now.
You are under my spell.
Feeling stronger already.
Under my spell. I am ready to put on a show.
One couldn't win without the other.
Your fate is sealed.
Double KO. Their team's capture progress has passed the halfway point. Control seized. No winner yet. Going to overtime.
Amazing!
That's right.
I won't make the same... Now, a disappearing.
Control lost.
Control. Feeling stronger already.
Get ready. Here come the bad guys. Oh, they almost got it. stronger already. Nowhere yet. Going to overtime. We are undefeatable.
Be right there.
Well, you can't expect to win them all.
Here at Game Ranks, you probably know we like to round up a lot of the new big upcoming video games. There's always some big new game to look forward to, but oftentimes in the AAA world, they all start to feel the same. Endless sequels, yet another attempt at a live service game, or trend chasers. Well, today we're trying to take a look at 10 upcoming AAA games that aren't really like other games. So the Game Ranks crew, we sat together and we came up with 10 games that all kind of have a different... Gotta be honest, I'm not like there that want to be a John Wick thing.
You'll need a top-notch team to win this one.
Some video games just like to mess with you and punish you for doing the right thing or being honest.
Tell the truth. Tell the truth.
Sounds crazy, but you'd be surprised how many games do this. We got 20 examples today.
Excuse me, I can't find my mum. I don't know where to go.
If Get Out is not clear enough for you, child, perhaps a flash of my weapon will get the message across.
All right. Sorry.
So let's get started off with number 20. Let's talk about Detroit Become Human. Now, in general, being good is rewarded in the game. You know, it works like most games where making the morally quote-unquote correct response generally leads to the better outcome. You know, no big surprise there. But at a climactic moment in the story, when the stakes are super high, as they're probably as high as they're gonna get, it's better to take the dishonest shortcut over the morally correct outcome. So I'm talking about the part near the end of Kara's journey, where a woman drops her bus tickets. Now, your goal here is to get out of this city. So, of course, you take the bus tickets, but you're immediately confronted with the option of either giving the tickets back, doing the right thing, you know, or just keeping them.
Excuse me, you didn't happen to see a blue envelope somewhere, did you? It has our bus tickets in it and... Oh, never mind.
If you do return the tickets, then you're not getting on the bus out of the city, and instead you're forced to take a boat across the river with the help of a smuggler. The boat ride almost always ends in disaster, with either Kara or Alice getting injured, and somebody's gonna die. Basically, the only way to survive this is if you've got Luther still around, and even then, if you pick all the right choices. In contrast, just taking the bus with the stolen tickets and crossing the border into Canada is way easier. It's still a direction that can lead to mishaps, but compared to the boat ride of death, it's the easier direction to take if you want to actually end the story with these two characters alone.
Got your ticket?
Yes, here they are.
Okay, go ahead.
Next at number 19, Dishonored. I mean, it's called Dishonored. It's a stealth game, so subterfuge is like the whole point, dude. The goal here is to make sure your target doesn't know that you're coming for them, at least if you're taking the stealthy, non-violent route. So revealing yourself to the main bad guy of the game, the Lord Regent, during the mission where you're infiltrating the palace he's taken over, seems like a bad idea, and no surprise here, it is a bad idea. There's a screen in the entrance hall to the castle that the Lord Regent uses to communicate with his guards, and you can actually use it to talk to the man directly and not just tell him that you're here to take him down. You also reveal that you're Corvo, you're alive, you're back for revenge.
You're the watermelon we've been searching for.
Doing this immediately puts all the guards on high alert, and you're already surrounded by enemies when the conversation ends. So if you're playing this game normally, you know, which is slow and stealthy, then doing this is about the worst possible thing you could do. If you're all in on high chaos, though, then it's a pretty badass way to end it. Unlike most other stealth games, you are perfectly capable of taking down this many guards at once. You just gotta be good.
Destiny awaits.
So it's not like you're totally doomed for failure for just using the communication system to actually taunt the bad guy, but, you know, unless you want the entire garrison on your head, maybe revealing yourself at the start of the mission isn't the best idea. Next at number 18, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, one of our favorites. The main character can be played in a lot of different ways here, but he always comes off kind of like a well-meaning dunce. You know, he's got a certain kind of dumbass aura about him. That's why we love him. It makes him a likable, realistic character. He can be prone to making some bad decisions, or you can as the player, really. Now, you can try to play the game perfectly and make him some kind of brilliant 4D chess tactician, but this time through, mistakes will be made, especially during the necessary evil quest. Man, so after extracting some information from a bandit, you discover that these guys are actually working with a nobleman's son. The local lord, Otto von Berghoff, wants you to investigate it with his men. And when you confront the noble about it, things get pretty heated. So much so that you're forced to pick a side. You either assist the noble, who's a generally decent guy with a son who's made some bad choices, or who's just been a real dickhead the whole time.
If you aim to defend them, then you stand against me. I'll kill you all. Born again. Every last one of you. God, protect his lordship.
Most players are going to side with our noble buddy, and if you do, it's imperative that you lie about your involvement with the massacre. No matter how righteous you feel, telling von Berghoff the truth is a very bad idea, and the game makes that really clear. So, of course, they give the option of just fessing up the entire thing.
No apologies. I'm proud of you. I admire your courage for telling me that I tried.
And while the Lord admires your courage for admitting what happened, that doesn't stop him from immediately imprisoning you and hanging you in the morning. So this is one situation in a game where you 100% do not want to tell the truth. There's no good outcome if you go down that road. Next at number 17, this infamous quest in The Witcher 3, it's one of the rare ones where using deception is by far the easiest way to resolve it, and it actually leads to the best outcome. That's usually not the case in this game. Most of the time, Geralt is pretty straightforward with his clients, and even in this very quest, he's extremely reluctant to do things different. It's the mission where you throw your baby in the hole.
Put him in the oven. Trust me.
Look, it sounds extreme, even for this game, but in the end, it's proven to be a trick to draw out the evil spirit haunting the planet. It had to appear real because this creature they're hunting, it feeds off of emotion, right? So the Jarl's despair had to be legit. It's possible for Geralt to reveal the deception before it goes down by returning the baby to the Jarl, but if you want to do that, then you'll be forced to fight the spirit in what's a pretty challenging boss fight. Simply drawing it out and trapping it, Ghostbusters style, is way more simple, and it leads to a better outcome.
I am at your
Next at number 16, this is a standout mission from Dragon Age Inquisition. And it's not really about any one big lie. It's more about stringing together a whole lot of little, like, whole lies and half-truths to just get what you want. And the goal here is relatively simple. You need to help resolve a major issue in the court of the not-French kingdom of Orlais and gather support for the Inquisition while you do. So this one mission introduces a new mechanic where you start off with a certain approval rate of support, and then depending on like what you say and do, that number can go up or down.
Someone here is working a bit of intel.
To the uninitiated, the cause of spoilers in the field is not but they are.
The goal is to get it as high as possible, and the only way to do that is to schmooze up every noble you meet and tell them exactly what they want to hear, just kiss their ass. Honesty isn't a part of it. You're here to make people happy, or at least get them on your side, be it through deception or self-subterfuge. There's a reason why this game calls it the Great Game. The court is a nest of vipers. So if you actually go into this thing being honest, telling people what you really think of them, and making measured claims about the chances of your organization's success and all that, everyone's gonna turn on you pretty quickly. Say enough stuff that rubs people the wrong way, and you'll actually get thrown out of the ball entirely, and then it's game over. It's not even all that interesting. They didn't even bother giving you a little cutscene. At least they made some unique art for getting thrown, so that's something, I guess. There's no one standout truth here. It's just generally a mission where honesty is punished. Now at number 15, let's talk about Cyberpunk. You know the part at the end of the prologue where you steal the relic from the hotel penthouse? The game tells you a lot, but if you're too slow or just too honest to stuff yourself in the crawl space and wait, then you can actually just stand around and wait. And then if you do, Adam Smasher, he barges in, he insults you, and then he kills you. So it's not really a good idea to just wait around there. You're supposed to do what the game says and actually hide. At least they actually give you a proper animation when you fail, so that's something at least. It's cool to see. It's a scene that very few people are actually going to come across because everyone's just going to do the honest thing and hide away. But it's attention to detail like this that just makes Cyberpunk really cool.
Well, you can't expect to win them all.
Next at number 14, Lies of P. In the vast majority of stories and games, a hard truth is almost always considered better than a convenient lie. Usually, forcing people to confront difficult or unpleasant things is the right thing
鱗狼の繁殖期だわ。生まれてくる子供を傷つけないように体をぶつけ合って。鱗狼の繁殖期だわ。生まれてくる子供を傷つけないように体をぶつけ合って硬い鱗毛を剥がしているのね。つがいを作らなければ強いままでいられるのに。あんな子から得るものなんて何もないと思ってた。知らざる者はよそ者で魔法に関わっても仕方がないって。でも彼女が正しく掟を学んだら私たちとの違いって何なのかしら。
すごいじゃないか。だいぶ安定した魔法がかけるようになってきたね、ここ。
嬉しいです。でもまだまだうまくできそうって思える魔法が少なくて、とっさの時につい同じ陣を使っちゃうんです。
僕が思うに失敗が少なくて無意識のうちに書いてしまう魔法って君の得意なんじゃないかな。
私の得意？
ほら、よく使う魔法だと直線を多用してるのがわかるだろ。曲線と比べてみてもまっすぐの線は迷いがない。初めて会った時に見せてくれたのもまっすぐ線を引く姿だったね。得意な魔法を自覚しておくと、それは自分を信じるべき時に支えてくれる自信となる。不安な時は言葉に出して自分の耳に聞かせてごらん。
私の得意はまっすぐ書くこと。私の得意はまっすぐ書くことなんですね。そうと分かれば繰り返し。もっとまっすぐ頑張りますぐ。
待って待って待って待って。得意な魔法は意識しなくても上達するから、意識しないと使わないようなまだ書けない魔法を練習しなきゃ新しい得意に出会えるかもしれないだろ。ね。
はい。なんだか前よりもっと魔法陣がすごいものに見える。その成り立ちを知ったからとっても難しいことしてるんだって、そういうのがわかるようになったんだ。すごい。これはすごい。すごい人の魔法はすごいな。
賞賛のための語彙力が乏しい。
すごすぎてへこむくらいすごいんだもん。リチェも一緒に見る？
見ない。書くのは好きだけど見るのは好きじゃない。
いいの？見ないの？
別にいい。動きがうざい。
手を動かして書くばかりが魔法の勉強じゃないんだよ、リチェ。優れた魔法を見て研究することは目の経験を積むようなものだから。
見たくないってば。
リチェ、大丈夫。怪我はない。激高のままに魔法を使うのは感心しないな。危ないよ。
学びのしるべに目を閉じるばかりか。死の言葉に耳まで塞いでちゃどこへも進めなくなっちまうのにな。
さっきはごめんね。私あれ？リチェ？ 室かな。筆虫、居場所知ってるの？どこ行くの、筆虫。筆虫、ここどこだろう。
入ってきていいって言ってない。
ごめん、筆虫追ってて。綺麗な魔法だね。水晶でできたリボンみたい。
名前はまだない。リチェが作った。
リチェの創作魔法？そうなんだ。すごい綺麗。目が幸せ。
鑑賞スタイルが斬新。
私、この魔法好きだな。
それ欲しいならあげる。どうせたくさんあるし。
いいの？嬉しい。ありがとう。ねえ、聞いてもいい？どうして本を見るの嫌なの？私は魔法のことを全然知らないから本を読むのが楽しくて。どんな人がどんな時に使おうと思って書いた魔法なのか、そういうのを想像しながら読んだりするのが好きなんだ。
リチェはリチェの魔法のことだけ考えてたいの。本を読んだらその次は同じように書いてみなさいって言われる。書きたくないものを書かされる。リチェらしい魔法じゃないのに。そういうのもう嫌なの。
リチェ、
ここには関係ない話。他の人の魔法はいらない。リチェの魔法汚されたくないから。
リチェはここに来る前に別の魔法使いとの師弟関係を解消してるからね。あの堅くなさは自分を守る盾なんだ。硬い毛で鎧を作る鱗狼のようで、どこまで踏み込んでいいのか。
人間は魔法ほど単純じゃないからな。おい。
お、何これ？石？
俺の新作魔法、北海石だ。こいつを寝床の中に入れておくと足先まで温めて安眠を助けてくれるはずだ。気休めかもしれねえが弟子どもに渡してやってくれ。
ありがとう。君の魔法は優しいね。言葉よりも雄弁だ。
仕事のついでだ、ついで。売り物の試作品だから使った感想が欲しいだけだっつの。
そういうことにしておいてあげるよ。お、ねえオル。
ん？
数が多いよ。5枚ある。
4枚は弟子の。残りの1枚はお前のだ。夜中はちゃんと寝るっつう手本を見せてやれよ。先生だろ？
気をつけるよ。手紙か。誰からだろう。
ただいま戻りました。
アガット。ちょうどいいところに帰ってきたね。大講堂から知らせが来たよ。 第2の試験の日程が決まった。
いつですか
？3日後の早朝、ロモノン岬の蛇の瀬洞窟だ。
水晶でリボンを作りたいのですか？とても可愛い魔法ですね、リチャリット。
リリ兄見て。コラコラチラチラ綺麗。リリ兄。
リリ兄はね、リチェのリチェらしい魔法が大好きですよ。どうかそのままのリチェでいてくださいね。
リリ兄、どこ行くの？リチェの魔法もう見てくれないの？行っちゃやだ。リリ兄。夢。ぐっすりと眠ってしまったわ。試験前日はギリギリまで練習するつもりだったのに、この北海市のせいで、このほっかほかのせいで。
大丈夫だ、アガット。どれだけ準備しても足りないような気がするのは皆そうさ。今の君らしくやればいい。次の時の君のためにね。
次なんてありません。一度でこなしてみせます。私はアークロム家の人間ですから。
いやはや頼もしい。うちの落ちこぼれとは雲泥の差ですよ。私の弟子のユイニーは年に一度しか申請できない第2の試験にもう2度も失敗してまして、メーカーアークロム家のご息女と聞き手を取り替えてほしいものです。
クックロー殿、弟子は物ではありませんよ。取り替えるなんて不可能だ。
だから困りものなのです。修理することもできませんし。
そんな言い方すること。
いいんです。全部本当のことなので、僕が出来の悪い弟子だからずっとクックロー先生にも迷惑かけてて、っていうか僕がダメなせいで先生がまた悪く言われてしまって本当に申し訳ないです。こんな僕がまともな魔法使いになれるはずなんてなくて、その。
いやー、遅れたな。悪い悪い。一番近くの扉窓が使えなくなってたから、ここまで延々と歩く羽目になったぜ。
大きな筆虫が喋ってる。
よーく見てごらん。彼女はれっきとした魔法使いだよ。
でも変身は禁止魔法じゃ。
影狩りの鏡マント。まとっている間、目の前にいる獣の姿の幻を見せてくれる魔法機さ。はじめまして、私はアライラ。第2の試験で立ち会いを務める試験監督のお姉さんさ。
試験監督が君とはね。
偶然だ。試験を受ける弟子以外も全員連れてきたんだな。第2の試験、騎士の忠誠はその名の通り、騎士のようにある対象を守りながら蛇の瀬洞窟を入り口から出口まで無事に送り届ける護衛任務なんだ。途中で護衛対象を見失ってもダメ。どちらか片方だけが先に出口に着いちまってもアウト。もちろん魔法を書くところを見られちまっても失格だ。
もし見られてしまった場合はどうすれば。
魔法の秘密がバレる心配はないが、試験は不合格になるだろうな。人間ってバレちまうから。そのマント着てこっから覗いてみな。いや、彼らはメルフォンさ。水辺に住むのは種が違う。試験で使われる蛇の瀬洞窟は 混沌の時代の魔法遺跡でね、中は迷宮の魔法が渦巻いていて道を外れると危険なんだ。
じゃあ彼らを魔法から魔法で守るのが第二の試験なんですね。
その通り。人間はなかなか立ち入らない廃墟だが、獣たちにとっては古くから繁殖地と越冬地をつなぐ渡りのルートの一つだ。魔法使いは彼らの世界を変えてしまった責任がある。だから毎年巣立ったばかりで道を知らない若い連中を迷わないよう導きながら護衛してるってわけ。そのマントの魔法でメルフォンには今お前たちの姿が仲間に見えてるはずだ。脱いだり陣をダメにしちまうとすぐ逃げられるから気をつけろよ。
なるほどね。人間の目をごまかして魔法を書くよりもある意味難しいってことか。
担当は一人一話ずつな。この子はお前、この子はあんた。そんで最後の1話はあんただ。
リチェに？これ間違ってる。リチェは試験受けないもん。
あれおかしいな。申請は出てるぞ。
間違いじゃないよ。君も試験を受けるんだ、リチェ。
嘘つき。リチェ。キーフリー先生、リチェのしたいようにしていいって言った。だから先生のとこに来たのに。先生もリチェの望みはどうでもよくて、大人がやりたいことをやらせるんだ。
どうでもいいなんて思わないさ。どうでもいいって思わないからこそ試験を受けてほしいんだよ。この試験で学べることはきっと君が望むように生きるための力になる。だから今日は僕を信じてみてくれないかな。
試験ではリチェのしたいようにするから。
いいんだよ。
やってみて嫌だったらもうやらないから。リチェがリチェじゃなくなっちゃったら先生の言うこともう信じてあげないから。
そちらも大変そうですね。ダメなやつは言い聞かせても本当にダメで、へりくつこねてでもだって、はあ、本当に苦労しますよね。なんで子供ってのは。
すみません。今何か喋りましたか？
もうこんな時間だ。私はそろそろ大講堂に戻らねば。
弟子の試験に立ち会わずに帰るのか？
あなたたちがいれば大丈夫でしょう。あとよろしくお願いしますね。
嘘だろう。本当に帰りやがった。
ユイニー君。
僕頑張りますね。
あ、うん、頑張って。
そろそろだ。
誰もが暗闇に迷わず出口にたどり着けたらいい。そのための魔法だ。そのための。
移動が始まったな。それじゃあ出発だ。
行っちゃった。
さあ、僕らは遅い朝ごはんでも食べようか。歴史の話でもしながらね。
歴史？
そう。蛇の背洞窟のような魔法の遺跡、 ココはまだあまり知らないだろ。結託の日以前に描かれた禁止魔法が世界に残した爪痕のこと。
この道を行くんですか？
言ったろ、魔法から魔法で守る試験だって。さあこの道をどう進む？小さな魔法の騎士さんたちは。
夜にしまい込んでしまった。もう僕らにいつか来ないと。今触れて間もなく崩れ落ちてしまうなら、あの夢も霧にさらわれてしまう。
昔この岬の洞窟には繊細な魔法細工の工芸に優れたロモノーン洞国という豊かな国があった。魔法の金細工を身にまとい尊大な態度を隠そうともしないロモノーン人は、洞窟の外の国やそこから訪れる人々を自分たちとは分けて考え見下していた。ロモノーンの豊かさに噂が噂を呼び、地上からの旅人が増えた頃、彼らにとって益のあるものだけを迎え入れるために選ばれた者のみが通れる蛇の背の道を作った。そしてその道を通ることを許されない無益な者はロモノーンに決してたどり着けないよう洞窟に迷宮の魔法を刻んだんだ。ロモノーンはさらに美しく豊かになったが、ますます高慢で排他的になり、ある時から身にまとい尊大な態度を隠そうともしないロモノーン人は、洞窟の外の国やそこから訪れる人々を自分たちとは分けて考え見下していた。ロモノーンの豊かさに噂が噂を呼び、地上からの旅人が増えた頃、彼らにとって益のあるものだけを迎え入れるために選ばれた者のみが通れる蛇の背の道を作った。そしてその道を通ることを許されない無益な者はロモノーンに決してたどり着けないよう洞窟に迷宮の魔法を刻んだんだ。ロモノーンはさらに美しく豊かになったが、ますます高慢で排他的になり、ある時からロモノーン人同士で互いの価値を選別し始めた。そして無益とされたものは価値なき肉体であるよりはと魔法で街を飾る金細工に変えられたんだ。流れの止まった水が濁るように閉ざされたロモノーンはよどんでいった。国の内側で憎み合い、疲れて弱って、最後は山のような金細工の重みで崩壊したそうだよ。後にはただ蛇の背の道と迷宮と化した洞窟を残してね。人は本当に恐ろしいよ。簡単に恐ろしいことができてしまうのだと自覚している者が少ないのも恐ろしい。
でも先生、魔法は人を幸せにするものですよね。誰かを助けたり世界を彩るための力なんですよね。
君たち未来の魔法使いがそう思ってくれるならきっと。そうだね、大丈夫だ。でもこの魔法は今日のご飯に不幸な結果を招くかもしれない。魔法は世界を彩るための力。そう願うよ、本当に。そう願う。
風のつてが運んでくれる月に踊れば夜に染まる窓、書くほどに満たされないこの瞬間が欲しくて、
まだわからない迷える子羊のよう、何者でもない特別ではないようで、明日が欲しかったたどるべき世界の夜明けと、
さあこの道をどう進む？私は試験監督だからここからはもう口出さないぜ。
ぐねぐねしてるけどずっと先まで一本道。こんなの飛んでいけばすぐ
危ない。
横向きに立ってる。あなたの魔法なの？
これはこの道の魔法。空間がぐちゃぐちゃになってるこの洞窟で唯一水平な正解の道はこの蛇の背の上だけなんだ。ここから足を踏み外すと洞窟迷宮に落ちた挙句入り口に逆戻りしてしまうんだよ。
もしかして蛇の鱗の石畳は全部魔法陣ってこと？でもところどころひび割れて崩れてる。
だから僕一度目の試験はそれに気づけなくて落ちちゃった。ここでの正解は基礎魔法教本にある
あの魔法ね。水は重力に従って流れ、水平なところだととどまってたまる。魔法陣がまだ生きている箇所だけが水平なら、水が表面にたまるところが正しく通れる道ってことよ。
完璧な正解だ。さすがアクロム家の人だね。僕は2回目の時でもそんなに
正しい答え、正しい魔法、正しい道。そこから外れたらダメなんて、そういうの一番やりたくないのに。
ほらリチェリット、また無駄な魔法ばかり書いて。そんなんじゃまっとうな魔法使いになれないぞ。どうして先生の言う通りにできないんだ。こんな落書きは捨てなさい。
捨てたくない。落書きじゃないのに。これはリチェの魔法なのに。リチェはリチェを捨てたくない。そのためには
こっちをおいで。通る道は分かったけどメルフォンがついてきてくれないわ。もう落ちたら危ないんだからちゃんとついてきなさいよ。あざとい仕草したって許さないんだからね。
でもその仕草が大事なんだ。メルフォンは仲間と鳴き声で会話する。だからこの子たちについてきてほしいときは表明の魔法で鳴き声に似た音を出すのが正解って。
魔法に正解なんて決めないで。こうじゃなきゃダメって決まりなんてない。
メルフォンが。
ユイニーはこの試験の経験者かもしれないけど、さっきから正解正解ってうるさいし、先回りして解説するのもおせっかい。リチェはリチェになりたいの。リチェじゃない魔法使いになりたいわけじゃない。だからリチェは自分の魔法だけでこの道の出口まで行ってみせる。
リチェ、
それはでも無理だよ。世の中にはそんなの通用しないんだ。これだって試験の問題なんだからちゃんと決まった答えがあるんだし。僕らは未熟者で見習いで子供なんだからちゃんと教本の通りにやらなくちゃ。でないとまた落ちちゃうよ。っていうか試験ってそういうものだし。
そういうものだからって決められるのが嫌なの。
でも他の人が試してない魔法は失敗するかも。
できるようにやればできる。
そんな無茶苦茶な。
失敗を覚えていたら知恵にもなるし生かしたら糧になる。そういう学び方してる子を一人知ってる。リチェのやりたいようにやればいい。私には関係ない。
アガットに言われなくてもそうする。 何の音？水？
僕は先生に毎日言われるんだ。お前には無理だ、お前にはできない。僕もそう思う。だから僕以外の人のやり方を勉強した。でもやっぱり無理なんだ。だってここはロモノー。そもそもが選ばれないものを拒むために作られた道だもの。
ココ？どうしたの？キーフリー先生、今日って他の魔法使いさんも来たりするんですか？
クックローは帰ってしまったし、いないと思うけど、どうして？
今あっちにローブ姿の誰かがいたような。
ここ。
誰もいるわけないか。はーい、今行きます。流れ落ちた水が途中からおかしな方向に落ちていってる。道が途切れていたら石畳の裏にある魔法陣の効果もないってことね。どうにかしてここを渡らなきゃ。リチェ、
魔法陣の効果があるのはこの石の上にいるとき。だから石の上をあっちの道まで伸ばせばいい。こんな風に。
石のリボンを踏んだまま。
ほら、できないことできるやり方に変えたらできるでしょ。
一理あるわね。
危ないよ、そのままじゃ。
複製と繰り返し魔法の合わせ技。範囲は狭いけどうまくいったわ。
分かった。い
い。やっぱりマントの下じゃ丁寧には描けないから長持ちせずにすぐ消えてしまうわね。まだまだだわ。もっともっと頑張らないと。あなたやるじゃない。
こんなの楽勝。
次はお前の番だろ。
僕やっぱりできない。向いてないんだ。才能も度胸も自信も適性も特技も何一つないもの。道が崩れててうすらない。今回もきっとダメなんだ。
あなた最初から分析もうんちくも十分に披露してたじゃない。二度の経験と知識を生かさなくてどうするのよ。何でもいいから書いてみなさい。鳴き声の魔法。水たまりを作る雨魔法。ってなんでもう通り過ぎたところの魔法なのよ。新しいの書かなきゃ渡れないのに。
書けないんだ。
はあ？
僕手の震えが止まらなくなっちゃうんだ。誰かがいるところで書いた時は一度もうまくいったことがないんだ。見られてると思うと汗かいて滑って震えてブレて、ひどい出来の魔法ばかり。僕だって何とかしたいけど自分でもどうしようもないんだ。それに震えて焦ってるところを見られると ますますダメになっちゃうから、今度こそ先へ進もうと予習して勉強して、必要になりそうな正解の魔法をあらかじめ書いてきたんだ。一人でならまだ集中して書くことができるし、魔円手帳の持ち込みは禁止されてない。これなら陣を閉じるだけで発動するから、なんとかまともに見えるかもって思って。でも道が途切れてるなんて正しいやり方じゃないから罰が当たったんだ。なんでいつも僕ってこうなんだろう。君は君になりたいって言ってたけど、僕はできるなら僕をやめたい。僕じゃない誰かになりたいよ。
これは知らざる者たちの前でもバレずに魔法を使えるかどうかを問う試験。悪いけどあの様子じゃ何度やっても受かるとは思えないわ。できなくない。ユイニーはユイニーのままでできる。今自分で答え言ってた。気づいてないの？一人だと集中して書けるなら今一人になればいいじゃん。
でもどうやって
でも魔法では石を伸ばしたり雨を降らせたりできるんだもん。一人になれる部屋でも何でも作れるはず。
その魔法が書けないんだけど。
じゃあ魔法はなしで。
そんな無茶なこと急に言われても僕は
あなた
邪魔しちゃダメ。
やだよ。最悪だ。なんて惨めなんだろう。とっさに思いついたやり方がこれって。情けなくて泣けてくる。あの子たちきっと呆れてるだろうな。笑われてるかも。こんな姿外から見たら滑稽だろうし、僕だって想像したらバカみたいだって思うもの。先生だってきっと僕に失望して笑われてない。誰も呆れたり笑ったりバカにしたりしてない。僕自身以外は。できるようにやればできるか。そっか。今ここで僕にできないって呪いをかけているのは鏡に映った僕だけだったんだ。鏡。こっち。いや、こっち。影狩りの鏡マントの魔法陣。鏡っていうより覆いの矢と反射の矢の応用で着ている人の姿を隠して影にしてから鱗に映り込んだ獣の巨像を投影する魔法なのか。すごいなあ。複数に重ね書きしてある。でもこれなら僕もしかして
どうした？ユイニ、そこにいろ。風の盾を張る。ロモノンの罠か、あるいは未知の古代魔法。
大丈夫です。これ僕の魔法です。
ユイニ、
お前そのマントはどうした？
中に潜ったら影狩りの鏡マントの魔法陣が見えたので、鏡の部分の魔法だけ消して影狩りだけのマントに変えてみたんです。これなら暗闇に紛れて隠れたままでも描ける。メルフォンからも見えなくなるから連れて行くのは難しくなるけど、鳴き声を真似した音魔法があるし、彼らには人間ってバレなければいいんですよね。
まあ一応な。
姿を隠せたら 一人になれる、集中できる、もう人目も怖くない。これなら書けるかもって思ったんです。こんなやり方で恥ずかしいけど、でも多分これが僕なのかも。
もう自分のこと嫌じゃない？
うん、ちょっとだけ。
次は無理とかダメとかすぐ言わないで。ユイに全然ダメじゃないから。
言っちゃうかも。でもそこで終わらせないように頑張るよ。ありがとう、リチャさん。
あなたは他人に興味がないんだと思ってたわ。
ユイニーは最初リチェを助けてくれたから、これでおあいこ。それにやりたいのにできない時の気持ち、リチェもわかるから。
できない自分が嫌なのなんて当然じゃない。だから成長できるのよ。私は私以上の私になる。未熟なままの自分を好きになるなんてありえないわ。
試験は自分を知るためのもの。道は確かに一本だけど、魔法の書き方は皆違う。それぞれが自分の方法を探り、自分の歩み方を決めていく。こういうのの繰り返しでな。試験もそんなに悪くないだろう。
でもキーフリー先生が嘘ついて受けさせたの、謝ってくれるまで絶対許さない。怒りチェポイント1だから。
怒りチェポイント？そうだ、キーフリーのことなんだけど、あいつ最近何か。
トライラ先生、
つば張りだと。
つばありも。
いいかお前ら、つばあり棒の言葉を聞くな。惑わされるな。全力で逃げる。禁止魔法。
アライラさん。夜にしまい込んでしまった。もう僕らにいつか来ないと。今触れて間もなく崩れ落ちてしまうなら、あの夢も霧にさらわれてしまうかな。現実と希望の隙間で人知れず摩耗するからだ。その摩擦でも乾かない雨、いてつく空気、ついに凍った花、立ち尽くす空。あの幸せは必要じゃなかったのか。ただ美しい呪いが無邪気に光さえちぎる。